All right. What is going on? I see you, A Golf. We are we are doing some research today. We are making some decisions. We are doing some research. So for those of you that don't know, I have been researching a book to write on conspiracy theorists and doomerism and the effect of conspiracy theory on people and their mental health and what brings them to believe these things and why, most importantly, we're there now. Like, why is it that all of a sudden conspiracy theory has become so mainstream as to have like an entire cult dedicated to a certain president, one Mr. Donald Trump, and also why it's became acceptable for politicians to, in many ways, not exactly accept it, but to ignore it, to act as though, who cares? They believe that. It's if that's what they want to believe, that's on them. There's a guy. His name is Vincent Fusca. So this dude was the guy that I called out at the Trump rally. This guy right here was the guy that I had said, wow, that's really trippy that guy didn't even move when Trump was shot in the ear. And I said he's such a strange looking character. And it turns out that this guy, Vincent Fusca, is a person that QAnon believes is JFK. They believe that Vincent Fusca is actually JFK, that JFK faked his death and actually became this guy for whatever reason. And one of the things that's really trippy about this dude is in an interview, he was asked, he said, do you know that people think that about you? And he said, I'm aware of that. And they said, well, why won't you come out and say, like, that's not who you are? And he said, well, let's just stick to what we're talking about here at the interview, because he's running for office. He was running for office in Pennsylvania. And the interviewer said, well, hold on, like, let's talk about that. And he goes, people believe what they want to believe. And they were like, well, don't you think that you should tell people that you're not JFK? And he goes, let's just stick to the questions. Let's stick to the interview questions. And I think that this is this really strange thing that whether it goes on the left or the right, and right now it's mostly happening on the right, but obviously after what just happened with Donald Trump, there's some of it on the left, where as influencers, as media members, people are tending to realize that, if they don't endorse a theory, but they in some way, like, they'll repost something that happens to have the conspiracy theory in it, that they can repost it, get a bunch of likes, bunch of clicks, but then use like a plausible deniability for why. Hey, some people out there, they believe it. I don't personally believe it, but if other people want to believe it, that's understandable. It's one thing to just say that. It's another thing to like repost things or to make videos on it, to like kind of feed into it and all that stuff. And so my question on almost all of this stuff has always been, like, how did this become mainstream? How did, specifically on the right, how did they get such a large amount of conspiracy theorists? Enough to create an entire cult out of QAnon. And so that's what I'm doing now. I logged on early today because I figured if I'm going to be on here and I'm going to be watching videos and researching things, that I'd include you guys, because I like to get your guys' points of view on a lot of stuff. You guys oftentimes bring up things that I don't think about. You guys have a lot of obscure knowledge that I don't have. So feel free to jump in and say, hey, this is a person I think you should look into. This is something that I think actually like connects with what you're talking about. Right now, my theory, my hypothesis, is that, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, is that it started in 2008 when Obama was elected, and the Tea Party Patriots, I don't remember exactly when the Tea Party Patriots were created, but the beginning of the QAnon cult, in my opinion, was the Tea Party Patriots, and how that slowly became, as the internet became more and more full of life and full of opinions and social media. I want to say Facebook was 2004. And iPhones became, made it easier to access the internet and social media and information. And then, what happened with Bernie, and then what happened with COVID, and just all of these people that feel disenfranchised, that maybe priorly believed that their government wasn't exactly like on the up and up, but weren't like 100% willing to just like go completely down the doomer rabbit hole. I believe that all of that has culminated in what we see today, and that is this gigantic cult following on the right, which also explains a lot about what we're talking about today later with the Elon Musk destiny debate, or not Elon Musk, whatever you want to fucking say, it's Elon Musk, dude. And whether or not it's acceptable for the left to use the same rhetoric, the same tactics as the right seems to be using, because the right seems to be completely accepting of conspiracy theories, corruption theories, and doomerism, whereas the left, as always, is trying to do the well, we have hope, we take the higher ground, all that bullshit. And so I think all of this stuff kind of like really comes together and fits very well. And I'm looking for some direction with the channel right now. And so this is what we're going to concentrate on that. So if it's not for you, I understand. Feel free to go follow somebody that talks about the stuff that you guys want to talk about. Ramen prices are outrageous. What up, Billiam? Agoff, I see you, Agoff, and I hear what you're saying. I like what you said there. Drink more beer? No, I can't drink more beer. I had to get back to running. I'm on the edge of being like, fuck all this stuff, and just like being like, I'm just gonna go do my own goddamn thing. But because I care about you guys, because I care about the situation here in America, I care about my family and their rights, and I care about like supporting good people, I'm still here. I'm still gonna do my goddamn thing. But apparently I better fucking start getting back into running, because this shit is mentally a severe load. So let's take a look. Okay, so that's what I'm saying right now, Woke. Okay, so here we go, Woke. You're going to help me out. Pretty much. Going to turn into Forrest Gump. Yes. Media supports from people like Shapiro, Owens, Jones, Rogan, and Walsh is how that shit happens. So what we're doing here is we created a separate account on my streaming profile here. And we are following all the big conspiracy theory people. So, it looks like Robert Kennedy right there. Who's James O'Keefe? Should I be following James O'Keefe to be getting all the conspiracy theories? What else did you say? Ben Shapiro? Ben Shapiro's one. He's not so conspiracy, but he is very willing to accept things that he shouldn't be willing. Matt Walsh, that's a good one. Jordan Peterson, that's a good one. What do you think? Hannity? Is there anybody else that I should be following, you guys? What up, Dark? What's going on? You don't? What's up? You need a hip replacement at 47? I'm trying not to have that, you don't. I'm trying not trying to do that. I do like running. I've been a runner for a really long time. I got to build back up. I can run about 2.5 miles in 30 minutes right now. I need to get back to 3 miles in 30 minutes and get back to 6 miles total. That's where I need to get to. Then my brain functions correctly. I got Tucker on here. Anybody else? If you guys can think of, James McKay is probably a very tough guy. He's not only crazy, but also a huge racist loser. Okay, he gets on there too. So what we're doing, we got Laura Loomer. We're trying to create a news feed that is all the conspiracy. Oh, Charlie Kirk. I thought I followed a different Lauren Boebert. Babylon Bee, not so much, because they are conspiracy theorists, but I'm not trying to get sucked into fucking satire on accident. Let's see. What about In Wokeness? That guy for sure. Oh, Terrence Williams. We need Terrence Williams in there. Ronnie Jackson. Yep. Oh, you're talking about Thomas Sowell? Yeah, we get Thomas Sowell isn't so much a conspiracy theorist as he is. He's what people nowadays would call an alternative thinker. A guy that, his whole idea is that it's all black people's fault that black people are where they're at. And it's okay for him to say it because he's black. The Hodge twins got to go on there. Matt Getz has got to go on there. Oh, Josh Hawley. Is he? Yeah, he's like oh, Vivek definitely going on there. MTG. What Tommy Loren? Do you not know who Thomas Sowell is, Grey Pill? Yeah, Thomas Sowell he's a guy who has a really crazy story. He actually has this really good successful story. And I even subscribe to what he talks about, what was it, the close, god damn it, the close versus the open. I can't remember the whole thing. But that part I agree with, but the majority of things that he says are just from a fucked up perspective. So he thinks he's like an alternative thinker. And like I said, he found a home on the right where they're like, oh, you think black people should pull them up by their bootstraps? Then yeah, you can hang out with us guys. And so he's found his own potential grift. And a lot of these people, as we hear very early in the discussion between Elon and Destiny, is that a lot of these people are people that kind of got shit on pretty hard by people on the left for their belief systems or for some kind of crazy theory that they had, and kind of took it too far. And then those people kind of, the right was open arms, willing to accept them and their crazy shit, and they weren't going to call them out, right? They weren't going to call them out on any of their bullshit. And if you're on the left, you're going to get called out for your bullshit. On the right, you won't. So there's a very niche area for people that are LGBT, people that are minorities, people that are women, that you can get on the right that you're not going to get on the left, and those people find homes, and that's what Thomas Sowell did. And like I said, there's actually one thing, if I can remember, Brett Weinstein definitely went down the rabbit hole. Oh, Michael Knowles. Oh, definitely. Am I missing anybody? Right Side Broadcasting Network. Oh, I got him right there, Dark. Yeah, they moved on. Oh, Alex Jones. Is he on X? TYT is actually a fucking god. Oh, Tim Pool. Tim Pool's definitely going on there. Oh, that Dan. Oh shit! I don't want to subscribe. No, that guy. That guy's one of them, right? Isn't he one of those? The Dan Bongino guy. How about some more obscure people? I mean, we got all the Steven Crowders and all that, but is there somebody that you guys know of that's more obscure that kind of puts out these crazy things? Because one of the things I want to... Oh, Sebastian Gorka. Yeah, he's on there too. Because one of the things we're creating here, guys, one of the things that we are creating currently is we're creating this folder here. And this folder here is all the shit, all the rhetoric from the right, where people say things like, oh no, when you say that the right has crazy rhetoric and that they're the ones that have been pushing the temperature in the room so much higher, what are you talking about? And what they do is they kind of catch you in a place, well, of course, I don't have all of this stuff, loaded up on my phone or whatever it is. So you end up kind of being this person that's well, I can tell you Donald Trump 100% is one of those people. And they go, well, what exactly has Donald Trump ever said? So what I'm doing now is I'm creating a fucking folder, and the reason that I'm following all these people is because every time that they say some crazy fucking rhetoric, every time that there is crazy shit that these people say, I'm going to stick it into this folder, so that way I have fucking literally hundreds or thousands of these people's fucking crazy rhetoric that I am then going to show to these people with fucking just pop it out right there, right then. Where is that? I don't know if you guys saw this. The Laura Loomer quote. Here you go. Here you go. Look at this. Andrew Tate. Gray pill. Shut up inward. Andrew Tate. Let's go ahead. We'll save that one. Thank you. Let's save that one. That one's going in there. Crazy right-wing rhetoric. Done. Dude. Yeah, Fox News and CNN. Yep. Yeah, of course, and that's why I'm writing the book. Oh, Jimmy Dore, good job, Liz. But this is what I'm talking about right here. Andrew Tate, shut up, inward. That's what he tweeted at Alex Cole, this black dude. No, don't worry, guys. There's no crazy rhetoric on the right. Don't worry about it. Like it's all from the left, guys. So we put Jimmy Dore in there. I do need to follow Trump on Truth Social. I have him followed, but I never go on it. So now as we start to do this, I'm going to start adding that to it as well. Okay. What was the other one? Oh, yeah, Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin's going on there. Let's get Dave Rubin in there. Okay, so this is the reason that I started this right here. I want you guys to see this. This is another thing right here. This one right here. This is what Laura Loomer tweeted after that Sheila Jackson Lee lady, the congresswoman, died. Even on her deathbed, this ghetto bitch couldn't keep President Trump's name out of her disgusting mouth. I'd say rest in peace, but we all know lying Democrats who have destroyed our country are going to hell. Sheila Jackson Lee will be remembered as a destructive force in America and one of the most low IQ members of Congress in the history of our nation. Today she died. Instead of spending her final moments with her family, she was talking shit about Trump on X and spewing more lies. She won't be missed, but I'm sure she will still be voting Democrat this November. Good riddance. So I'm pretty sure this got deleted. So instead, we'll do this bit. Let's go ahead and boop, pop that bad boy out. Let's save that to our folders. And we're going to just go ahead and save that right here. Cool. That will go in there too. That'll go in there too. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got to look for Alex Jones. I got to get Alex Jones in here. Let's see. Or Loomer. Let's go with Alex Jones. Alex Jones. Oh, Kevin Sorbo, too. I forgot Kevin Sorbo became a fucking crazy person. All of these people are going in the folder. All of them. It's going to be fucking amazing. Alright, that's a good start. That's a good start. Oh, Zuby! I forgot about Zuby. Oh, Donald Trump Jr.? Donald Trump Jr. is going in there. Oh, this is going to be fucking amazing. I have found the direction of the channel. Oh, it feels good. Oh, it feels good. Oh, Carrie Lake. Yeah, Carrie Lake's going in there. I like that X makes it so easy to find all the fucking conspiracy... Oh, Breitbart. All the conspiracy theory people in the same space. Oh, Michael Flynn. Ooh. Dude, I'm going to get put on an FBI list for following all these people. Oh, the Daily Wire. Yes. Oh, God, this is fucking amazing. Oh, Robert Malone. Yeah, definitely. Let's see, is there more? That's probably good for now. It's probably good for now. Tulsi. Oh, RFK Jr. Good call. Good call. Did you guys watch the video of RFK Jr. saying that COVID had been genetically... Oh, I already followed him. Had been genetically modified to target white people and black people and avoid... what is it? What's the Jewish people? I forgot about the Jewish people. Let's see. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Blaze, here you go. I'll show you what we're going to do here is, as long as you don't say anything stupid, I won't ban you. Okay, buddy? Don't talk about children, okay? Don't talk about children, okay? I know that's hard for all the... Oh, Roseanne Barr. Good fucking call. Oh, my God. This is going to be comprehensive, guys. This shit is going to be comprehensive. We are going to have all of it. Oh, man. Rolodex for crazies is right. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else we can do. Oh, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan did join. He did join the grift. Hulk Hogan. Oh, you know who else? Fucking Jake Shields. Oh, another person that I used to like, and then they became fucking crazy. Dude, I used to, like, fucking watch Jake Shields fights all the time. Holy shit. Sneeko, Myron, Tristan, Andrew Tate. Oh, man. Oh, this is good. All right. Let's see who else is on there. I should just follow Nate Diaz for fun, though. I love Nate Diaz. Oh, I love that. Hulk Hogan, you lucky I didn't break your fucking leg, you fucking dumb son of a bitch. There's some hateful rhetoric. WWE style. Here we go. Oh, dude. You guys. Let's play a video. Let's play a video. This is amazing. Let's play this video. You guys ready for this?
He always finds a way to win. And when he's back in our White House, America is going to start winning again.
He's got a higher IQ than any man alive. He's going to fix everything.
Oh, yeah, Kid Rock and
The
Ted
price
Nugent.
of food and
Yeah.
gas and housing is out of control. And the only person who can clean this up is Donald Trump.
He'll fix the problems with all the dead crops. He's going to make them grow again.
He's going to win in November, and we're all going to be champions again when he wins.
Give you my word. He's going to
God.
dead harmony.
Okay.
Trumpomania, run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
That's what I thought.
Hold on. Okay, so I gotta remember, I'm getting better at this. You know what? Like I said, we are either all in or we're not in at all. So we are all in right now, folks. And that means that we're gonna give this shit our all. And it's either gonna fucking work out or I'm gonna go do something else. That's what we're gonna do. So this is going in Discord. You know what? I'm turning into one of these fucking streamers. And if that's what we're gonna do, that's what we're gonna fucking do. Okay? Fuck it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go in Discord, so that way we remember it. Bucket taught me how to do that. Oh, Russell Brand. Oh, Russell Brand. There we go. Russell Brand. Oh, shit. Who else did you say? Dean Cain. Is Dean Cain really a fucking conspiracy theorizer now? Oh, I just put it in Discord in the meme channel, Gray Pill. Democrats should have hired a Randy Macho Man Savage impersonator and called the Hulkster out. Dude. Dude. Holy shit. Okay, so Dean Cain, I'm gonna follow him. I haven't seen anything about Dean Cain before, but we'll do it. Yeah, like I said, that's why you guys are in chat. You guys are here to help me. The League of Doom. Mods, feel free to ban whoever the fuck you want. I'm at that point. I'm at that point. I've been giving people so much grace. I've been allowing so much shit, and I have gotten nothing back from these people. I have given so much grace. Mods, have a fucking field day. That's all I'm saying. I don't have it anymore. You fought on Twitter to the point he told you he made you hate Superman. FJB, I'm warning you. I'm just warning you. I'm letting the mods do whatever the fuck they want. Because at this point, dude, I have given so much grace, so much good fucking faith to all of you fucks that come in here and fucking argue with me. And I don't get shit in return for it. What I get is anytime that I shit on the right, I become the bad guy. And I'm fucking over that shit. If that's the game we playing, then we all playing the same fucking game. I love you, FJB. But I'm warning all of you fucking guys. If we playing a game where the right gets to go out and fucking push the most hateful, angry fucking rhetoric, and the first time that somebody on the left says something mean, we have to castigate ourselves and commit fucking harry-carry because we have brought shame upon our political family, I'm done with that shit. I'm done with it. And we're going to watch a video that explains exactly why. Now, I'm the bad guy if I don't shit on my own party. That's where we've gotten. I don't even have a party, but somehow I get fucking forced into this shit. Let's see. Oh yeah, Kid Rock. We forgot about Kid Rock. Kid Rock. Dana White doesn't really share conspiracy theories. Ooh, Dr. Phil. And just because the mods ban you doesn't mean I don't love you. Still love you. But if we talking shit, we talking shit. That's where I'm going with that. If people want to talk shit, then we talk shit. Aaron Media, I don't know what you're talking about, dog. If you guys are talking to me, you gotta at me. Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about now. Yeah, if you guys are talking to me, just at me, okay? At me, please, so that way I know who the fuck I'm talking. Or if you guys are talking, I hate. Look, I'm gonna fight with whoever wants to fucking fight with me, but I hate when I accidentally fight with you guys and you're not fighting with me. So please at me if you're talking to me, so that way I know that you guys are talking to me. Okay. What is this shit? Okay. I think we've got enough people in here so far to get us started. Great Pill. It's in... Okay, hold on. Here, dude. Is this it? Yeah, right here. There you go. There you go. All right. Oh, Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland... You think Sean Strickland's really a fucking Trump supporter, or do you think that, or do you think he legitimately, well, he's been hit in the head a lot. He has been hit in the head a lot. He's also got, like, a fucked up past. I kind of feel bad for Sean Strickland. But once again, like I said, that's the problem, is we all, like, say, oh, I feel bad for this person, and then they go around saying the fucking worst shit ever, and we're supposed to just be like, oh, it's cool. Ooh, Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider, another fucking person. How many people have been broken? Oh my God, I should just write a book on that alone. I think one of the chapters, okay, I need to write notes while I'm doing this. One of the chapters is going to be all the people. All the people. Okay, chapter ideas. Okay, all the famous people that broke and switched. That's going to be one of them. That's going to be one of the chapters. One of the chapters is going to be concentrating on all the people that just like absolutely broke and switched to these like fucking insane people. God, this is actually going to be fun. This actually, like I said, this adds some as a point to the channel. It gives us... Is Scott Baio one of them? Tell me not Scott Baio, guys. Do you not acknowledge there are failings on the Democratic extremes and both sides do things that are just ugly at times and focusing one side due to dislike is wrong? Yeah, I agree with that. But here's the problem, Ross. Here's the problem. I sit up here and you ask me that fucking question and I say, yeah, I agree with that. And then nobody on the fucking right will do that. Nobody. And that's why I'm getting fucking tired of this shit. Is because every time somebody comes in here and they go, hey, bro, can you agree that there are problems with like Joe Biden, and I go, yeah, you want to hear me criticize Joe Biden? Sure, okay, hey, criticize Joe Biden. I bet you won't. Oh, okay, here's all the things I think are wrong with Joe Biden. I say this, I say this, I say this, I say this. I go on for like 20 minutes about all the shit that's wrong with Joe Biden, and I go, so tell me one thing you think is wrong with Trump, and they're like, bro, like there's fucking nothing wrong with Trump. No, I'm fucking over this shit. Of I sit up here and tell all you guys, yeah, I agree that there's problems in all the parties, while the fucking right sits there and acts like a goddamn cult. I'm over this shit. I will continue to recognize the faults and flaws of the left and the Democratic Party until the fucking day I die. Because that's what I do as a human being. It has nothing to do with wanting people to like me. It has nothing to do with wanting people to find me popular or want to watch my show. That's just legitimately who I am as a person. I know there are flaws in every fucking human being. But I am about goddamn tired of being told that I have to recognize all these fucking things about the left. And when you try to call out a single fucking thing about the right, every one of those fucking people band the fuck together and jerk off in a cult super circle. Done with that shit. I agree with you, but I'm not going to do that shit anymore. Andrew's here for this shit. Andrew's here for this shit. And look, you guys pushed me here. All you guys that come in from the right, I tried to fucking be that person. I tried to be so fucking centrist for you. And instead of being accepting and appreciating that shit, FJB, I'm not talking to you. You've actually been nice about it. And Adam, there's a couple of you that were good. A couple of you have been good. So I'm going to say the same thing I always say. MAGA destroyed conservatives. MAGA and the cult destroyed the conservative side of the party. But that's not my fucking problem. That's your problem. You guys need to fix that shit. Because the majority of people that come in here from the right don't give any appreciation for that. Don't say, hey, good job. Yeah, like we agree that there's those things on the left that actually are pretty bad, and we should all fucking agree that there's things to be fixed in all the parties. No. The people on the right come in here, they go, let's shit on Joe Biden. Thanks for shitting on Joe Biden. Anyways, the left sucks, and then they leave. Fuck that shit. Thanks, Ross. That's all I'm asking for. Ross Strickland, that's all I'm asking for. Is somebody to say, cool, I see that you can see that, and I appreciate that you can. Because that's really, when we get past all this bullshit, fighting bullshit, one day we're going to have to all look at each other and go, wow, that was a weird period of time, wasn't it? Boy, we all got fucking worked up and fucking, man, that was crazy, wasn't it? Hopefully, those of us that are the most sane will come out the other side, and all the fucking conspiracy people are going to get pushed back to the fucking fringe again. All the cult members are going to get pushed back to the fringe again. And that's why I'm writing a book on this shit. Andrew. What up, he hurts? Oh, Reed Uncle come on. At one point or another, he'll come on. He's my stepbrother, so he comes on here. The right will call everyone communist regardless of what they do because it's about winning. It's not. That's what I'm saying. This is my issue. I want people that are communist to be called communists. I want people that are fascist to be called fascist. I don't want people to just come into chat and just be like, oh, that person's a communist or that person's a fascist. I want it to fucking mean something. I want people to recognize that there are faults in all human beings, not in parties, but in all human beings. Parties as a whole are faulty. I've said this a million fucking times. I don't belong to a party. I have political values and ideals that are represented by my actions, and I lead by example. But we have this serious problem specifically right now from the right where they can push extreme fucking rhetoric, out of control rhetoric, and then when their own presidential candidate gets almost shot by a kid that 100% was seeking fame and fortune, okay? That kid wasn't a liberal. He probably wasn't even a real fucking Republican. That kid was literally out there looking to shoot the most famous person he could in the hopes that he could continue to do it. The dude had a whole fucking idea of how many people he was going to do it to. And the reason that he wanted to do that was because people's rhetoric, like Donald fucking Trump, are pushing it through the goddamn roof. Now, are people on the left saying things that also can be lending to that? 100% yes. But are they even close to on par with what I just fucking showed you from Laura Loomer? No! It's not even fucking close. Let's read it one more goddamn time. Where is that Laura? Here, I'll just fucking pull it up. I'm sure I can. Shit's like... this shit right here. Let me read it one more fucking time for the people in the back. Even on her deathbed, this ghetto bitch couldn't keep President Trump's name out of her disgusting mouth. I'd say rest in peace, but we all know lying Democrats who have destroyed our country are going to hell. Sheila Jackson Lee will be remembered as a destructive force in America and one of the most low IQ members of Congress in the history of our nation. Today she died. Instead of spending her final moments with her family, she was talking shit about Trump on X and spewing more lies. She won't be missed, but I'm sure she will still be voting Democrat this November. Good riddance. When you support shit like this, fuck you. Do you support shit like this, FJB? Because if you do, you can't say shit about what the left says. Let's see, where is that Marjorie Taylor Greene one? What day was the shooting? It was a week ago, right? Actually, exactly a week ago, right? The 12th? Let's see if she deleted the shit yet. Dude, she tweets so much. I'm gonna have to go way back. This is another thing that should be fucking called into account. Why are our politicians on X so fucking much? Why are they not working? Why are they spending so much goddamn time posting on social media? Here you go. Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was an assassination attempt. The media is intentionally lying to the American people, pretending that it was merely a shooting. Absolutely disgraceful. Democrats in the media, you are responsible for the attempted assassination of the President Donald Trump, death threats and attempts against me and other Republicans, and brainwashing half the country with your sick, violent rhetoric. Tell me that any of this shit is in any way at all attempting to bring down the temperature in the room. Here, I'll bring up somebody that I don't ideologically in any way possible agree with. And let's see what Mike Johnson said. Let's see what Mike Johnson said. Kelly and I are praying for President Trump and all the attendees of the campaign rally today in Pennsylvania. We send our gratitude to the law enforcement who responded at the scene. I've been briefed by law enforcement and continuing to monitor the developments. This horrific act of political violence at a peaceful campaign rally has no place in this country and should be unanimously and forcefully condemned. That's how a fucking leader should talk. I don't like Mike Johnson. I don't agree with Mike Johnson ideologically. I will always vote against Mike Johnson and Mike Johnson's values. But that is the bare basic minimum of what our politicians should be doing, is coming out and saying that shit shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be happening. So don't come on here and tell me about how the left is inciting this violence. For one, you're the same fucking people that claim that Donald Trump didn't incite an insurrection on January 6th. That his words didn't matter. They didn't matter. No, they do matter. They do. So we can continue to fight this shit. I'm happy to do so. All right, so here we go. All right, we got the first part figured out. So that's going to be like, so this is going to be the X Twitter for me to follow all the up-to-date conspiracy theories. And every single time I see one of these fucks posting hateful, shitty rhetoric towards the other side, I am going to put it into the folder. And the next time that somebody says, Oh, they don't say things like that. Andrew Tate isn't racist. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Here's a fucking tweet right here where he calls a black dude the N-word. Oh, no, it's fine because he's black. Therefore, he can't possibly be, it can't possibly be racist. Don't worry, guys. In 4 months, this nonsense will be over. What have any of these people done? What have either one of these people... You can disagree with their lifestyle. You can disagree with that. That's your right as a human being, is to disagree. But what have they done that has legitimately hurt you or anybody else? Both of these people have served in the military, putting their lives on the line to protect your right to hate them. That's what they've done. That's what they've done. Let's go ahead. We'll put that one in a folder too. Let's put it in a folder too. Everything's going in a fucking folder. There's gonna be so much of this shit. Alright, let's watch this other stuff. We got that handled, and that's just gonna be an open folder that's always there. That's always there. We're just gonna, anytime you guys see some shit, put it in the Discord. Anytime you see one of these fucks twittering hateful ass rhetoric, put that shit in the Discord. I'm gonna put it in the folder. This is the job. This is what we are going to do from now on. We are going to, every single time there is hateful rhetoric, put that shit in my Discord. We're gonna put it in the folder. Every time. We're not going to play this fucking game anymore. We're not going to play the whole, like, oh, you know, my side does have problems, so I won't criticize your side. People on the left have been criticizing Joe Biden ad nauseum for the last 4 years. Criticizing the Ukraine war effort. Criticizing the Israel-Gaza war. Criticizing Joe Biden's age. Criticizing all this shit about Joe Biden. On the left. This isn't right-wing criticism. On the left, this is happening. On the right, there is no fucking criticism of Donald Trump. Zero. If you criticize him for sexually abusing a woman, they'll say, she probably wanted it. He didn't even know her. If you criticize him for committing fraud in New York, they go, everybody does that. If you criticize him for sleeping around on his wife while she has a 2-month-old, they go, he didn't have sex with her. He didn't even know. Why would he do that? If you criticize him for a single fucking thing, his cult and everybody that surrounds the fringe of his cult will come to his defense. Meanwhile, the left eats their own. Done with that shit. What up, Genie?
Very strange place.
This is one of the things that, with the book, that I'm trying to figure out. And this is why I love having you guys in chat, because I like to get your guys' points of view. And conservatives, Republicans, you can be here. Just don't be fucking cult members. Don't be cult members. You can jump in on this shit too. You can add your 2 cents. You might even give me some ideas about fucking some of the people on the left that went there too. But why is it that religious people, specifically evangelicals, tend to fall for these grandiose theories? Why is it that these people want to believe so badly that the reality that they exist in isn't the actual reality that they exist in? So I'm watching this video because of that.
Want proof of God? Okay. Look around you. Look at the ocean.
Ow. These young people and their loud TikToks.
That's basically just a rock concert. Kids like that stuff.
Did you know that this end-time Bible prophecy is happening right in front of your eyes and nobody is talking about it?
My dad was in the newspaper. Your local paper?
God is so real. And there's a reality of his existence in which makes you not even able to think. Not able to...
Wait, what? Okay, and I'm going to have to take notes during this, so don't blame me. I'm going to play the video pretty much as possible without stopping it as much as possible unless I have questions for the chat. Chat, if you want to talk to me, you have to at me. You're not FJB, broski. You're not adding me properly. You have to put the whole name, or when you type out @pro, it should give you the ability to click my name. Do that, because the reason I say at me is because it puts a big orange highlight, something like this. So look. The reason I'm asking you to at me is because it looks like that and it gets my attention. Okay? Yes. So you're just putting @progressive and that's not linking me. I'm not seeing. You just did it. You just did it right now. The last one you just did it. What was your, do I want a new candidate? My position has been the same since the very beginning of this. And you guys can go look at my video from over 2 years ago. I've been saying the same thing. Joe Biden as a candidate is old. Joe Biden as a candidate, if there's another person out there that has his same policy values, his same cabinet, same administration, I'm 100% in support. But if Joe Biden is the candidate, then I'm okay with that, because it's a lot like having a general manager that's very good at his job, that's done a great job up to this point, and then asking me whether or not I want to replace him. No, I don't want to replace the guy that put forth the Chips and Science Act. No, I don't want to put forth the guy, or replace the guy that put forth the Infrastructure Act. No, I don't want to replace the guy that has actually worked bipartisan with Republicans to get things done like gun legislations and the Infrastructure Act. No, I don't want to replace that. But do I look at Joe Biden and think, wow, that fucker's old, older than fucking dirt, and he's probably tired, and it'd be great if he could fucking just retire and rest? Yeah, of course. And if they want to put forth a candidate, but I just said this last night, Joe Biden won the delegates. Joe Biden was voted for, not by me, mind you, just so you know, I vote independent. I'm an American Independent Party member, so I can't vote in the primary. Joe Biden was voted for by Democrats in all of the states except for, I think, Puerto Rico as their candidate. So he won those delegates. The democratic process is to accept that he is the candidate for the Democrats. Now, if you had said to me, Joe Biden hadn't passed the Chips and Science Act, Joe Biden hadn't steered us out of the global pandemic and down to a 3% inflation, keeping unemployment under 4% for almost like the entire fucking time. If Joe Biden hadn't steered us out of a recession, if Joe Biden hadn't put 200,000 more people to work just last month, if Joe Biden hadn't done all the things that he had done leading up to this presidency, if Joe Biden had done, let's just say, the things that Donald Trump had done in his presidency, and Donald Trump had done the things that Joe Biden had done during his, I wouldn't be voting for Joe Biden. But Joe Biden has done all those things. So therefore, I will vote for Joe Biden, because I'm not voting for Joe Biden the person, I'm voting for Joe Biden the presidential candidate. Yeah, but there's never been a primary, and I do wish, so here's the one thing I will say. I wish there was a primary. I wish there was debates. I do agree that there should have been debates. But I also stand on tradition that there has only been, like, what, twice ever? Maybe once ever that an incumbent has ever had a debate. So there's a mixture of what is statistically probable and what we like symbolically, right? Those two things kind of create the idea and the plan going forward of what people want to do with their party. And once again, I'm my own person. I don't always have to agree with the left. I don't always have to disagree with the right. I'm my own person. I would have liked to have seen debates, but I also understood why there wasn't. So when you think critically, you have to be able to hold two ideas that conflict in your head at the same time and then have a solution off of that, right? So on the one side, I know that for the most part, incumbents never debate because it makes the party look weak. On the other hand, I feel like debates are really good, and I think that debates would have been helpful for voters to decide whether or not Joe Biden was of sound enough mind for them to vote for him. So the in-between point, and I'm just thinking this through as we do this now, so call me out for whatever the fuck you want to. I'm just doing this on fucking camera for you. If I were to try to come up with my solution for those two things, I would say that, well, first of all, we need ranked choice voting. Second is that, yes, tradition does have a place within politics, but there are times when we need to be able to look at ourselves as people, as voters, as political party members, and say, maybe this is a time where we break tradition and we have debates, because by judging the temperature of the room, it seems like it could be the most helpful thing right now to help to keep democracy strong. So that's where I would go with that. Well, we didn't really have primary. You can't deny it. No debates, no actual primary. This is all DNC and Biden's fault that we are having this conversation. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't read I guess I didn't read the rest of that. Yeah, I agree with that, Andrew. I agree with that. But, I'm voting for Biden. The meeting with Kim Jong-un at the border for 3 minutes, talk about the repercussions for the North Koreans themselves, about how an idiot... Oh, you want me... I saw that you wanted me to send that to House Sparks, but just so you guys know, I am small potatoes in the YouTube sphere. Nobody... House Sparks isn't talking to me, dog. TYT isn't talking to me. Destiny, not talking to me. Vosh, not talking to me. Hassan, not talking to me. None of these people are going to talk to somebody that has a channel as small as mine. I appreciate that you guys are here and actually love me and come here and watch my shit, because I don't get no love from anybody else. So when you say show it to House Sparks, like, I can send it to House Sparks' email, but that's the best he's going to get. What AJ is referring to is the fact that Donald Trump pulled the "Your Excellency" quote from a letter that was literally sent to him from one of Kim Jong-un's people, where he told Donald Trump that Mike Pence was an idiot and he was stupid, and that if Donald Trump continues to use hateful rhetoric towards Kim Jong-un and North Korea about sending a nuclear weapon at their country, that they have nuclear weapons too, and if they want to have a nuclear showdown, North Korea is happy to do so. Anybody that thinks that Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un had a good relationship is a fucking moron that cannot read or has chosen not to read, because there is a literal letter that says, from Kim Jong-un's people, if you want to have a nuclear dick-riding fucking experience, if you want to pull your nuclear dick out versus my nuclear dick, we can do that, and I will throw everything I have at your country. That's not a good relationship. Kim Jong-un called him Your Excellency in a fucking letter where he was talking about nuking America. Anyways. All right, let's watch this.
Things.
Oh, I love that classic apologetic. I can't.
It's up to the mods. I'm letting the mods handle this
God
shit.
Must be real.
Y'all really out here saying God isn't real, and you hate him. So which one is it?
Do you want to know why Christians are so susceptible to conspiracy theories? It's because we've been trained to see an enemy that most of the world doesn't even believe exists.
Wait, is it Satan?
And if you only knew what to look for, you would see him too.
I don't think this is the flex that she
I like that,
thinks
Andrew.
it is.
I like
but
that.
It does seem to be true that religious people, and especially evangelicals, are more susceptible to conspiracy theories than most other groups. Why is that?
There you go.
Try that one more time. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for liking and subscribing and commenting and all that wonderful stuff, because you're all wonderful people. I put the links down below for the social media, as well as our merch and our Patreon. I really appreciate you over there at Patreon. I've been really good at getting myself demonetized, or at least limited ads lately, And,
you know how you feel, dog.
And all the support there really helps keep this thing afloat.
Not doing a great job
Thank you so
either.
much. And if you want to join the party, we'd love to have you join that party. We've all heard a conspiracy theory or two in our time, and maybe even bought into
I love
some.
Bernie.
Like all the conspiracy theories around the JFK assassination.
Lee Harvey Oswald was not a male model.
You're goddamn right he wasn't, but those two lookers who capped Kennedy from the grassy knoll sure as shit were.
Or that the moon landing was fake, or that the government is poisoning us with chemtrails, or that fluoride in the water is for mind control purposes, or that.
And so this is where part of the book comes in. So these are all things that, in my experience as a manager at a health food store, I can tell you that during my time working in health food, that I saw a lot of this on the left before COVID. So before the pandemic, before 2020, and I would even say probably closer to like Trump's time, like 2016 even, I would say was the beginning of it. The conspiracy left, the anti-big pharma, the anti-vax people, the people like myself, like that would be like, I don't know, JFK seems weird, that seems suspect. The people that would play in what I would say were the least controversial conspiracy theories, right? The ones that almost everybody just would have a chuckle at and just kind of laugh at people and just kind of be like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude. Yeah, you believe some crazy shit and didn't care. That was like the moon landing, JFK, flat earth, right? Like those are the ones that almost always people would just brush off and go, whatever, dude, that person's just kind of fucking nuts. That actually existed much more on the left than it does nowadays. Nowadays, when I talk to people on the left, they're hesitant to even mention that they believe any of those things. Like, I never hear somebody on the left talk about a flat earth. I never hear people on the left talk about the moon landing being faked. But I still, every once in a while, because I think most of us, it tends towards the left-leaning side, will say that the JFK assassination seems pretty fucking sus. One of my theories, and one of the things I plan on writing about in this book, is that the conspiracy theory left made its way into the MAGA cult during COVID and maybe even perhaps before COVID. Maybe with the 2016. Because the conspiracy theory left always was anti-big government, anti-governments being involved. All the government is corrupt. There's no such thing as a good politician. People like AOC, kind of like for a second, AOC and Bernie Sanders kind of made them a little bit happy. But during that 2016 portion was when Bernie Sanders, when we had the whole superdelegate controversy with Hillary Clinton, where Bernie Sanders in the end stepped aside and said that Hillary Clinton was the nominee. But that upset a lot of Bernie Sanders voters. So one of my theories is that you had the anti-big pharma, anti-government, anti-vax left, and then the Bernie Sanders supporters that kind of got disenfranchised because of what happened with Hillary and the superdelegates. And those people actually made their way over to the MAGA right. Now, I say that, I specify that on purpose, the MAGA right, because I don't believe that any of those people really have values that coincide with conservative values. But MAGA is a much more open arms, we'll take anybody. We want to show people we're not racist, so we'll take any black or Mexican person that's real, or Latino person that's willing to be over here. Any LGBT person, yeah, you're going to be a token. Yeah, you're going to be a minority on our side of the thing. But hey, you're going to have a super cool grift. Like, you're going to be the only one over here. So I think that that's really like kind of appealed to those people. So that's part of the theory behind that. No, I actually think, am I having technical difficulties? Probably. Drink. No, Andrew, I believe, so what I had was I had hippies that would shop in my store that were pro-LGBT, right? Like, they'd go to pride festivals, right? And I'm going to use a specific example of a lady that I knew. She believed in complete LGBT stuff, right? Like she'd go to pride festivals. She would, if anybody said something, like Donald Trump was abhorrent to her, okay? The very epitome of the devil, if she believed in it. But she also believed in conspiracies of the Monsanto sort, like that Monsanto's taking over the world, that Monsanto is buying up all this land, that Monsanto is using, she believed in chemtrails. She believed that the planes going over, people were dropping chemicals on us. She believed that the vaccines were filled with chemicals that were detrimental to children. She believed in the whole "it causes autism" thing. So she believed all those things, but she's also very pro-LGBT. She was also very anti-Trump. She was very hippie, very anti-processed foods, stuff in her. But now that same person is a QAnon person. She actually believes that being LGBT is a government cover-up to attempt to depopulate the world. She believes that Donald Trump is legitimately trying to stop human trafficking by defeating a cabal of left-wing people. So do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, she was they're anti-capitalist as well, yes. Thanks, Woke. Thanks for being here, Woke. They don't care, but we can be smart and aggressive at the same time and care. Yes, that's why we tell me all the time just how ignorant they sound and look. Gosh. Yeah. Selena, I like what you just said, Selena. I like what you just said. Yeah, I know why Monsanto's bad. I've worked in the health food industry. So, like, a lot of... what part of it is anti-capitalism? Well, it's just that if you asked her, she would say she was anti-capitalism. I'm not saying any of those parts are anti-capitalism, even though I would say if you're anti-big pharma, you're probably anti-capitalism, because the reason that we have a lot of like the medical knowledge that we have, a lot of the pain pills and stuff like that were both bad but also super helpful in like actual medical surgeries and stuff like that, are because of capitalism, because we incentivize people to sell drugs, which is really bad and good at the same time. But if you asked her, she would tell you she was anti-capitalism. Oh, Jeannie, 100% she'd vote for RFK. 100%. That's why, like, I still say to this day that I think the majority of people that are going to vote for RFK are actually MAGA Republicans. I think that you're still going to have more people pulling from Trump than Joe Biden that'll vote for RFK. Well, her foundation for her beliefs at that time, Andrew, would be something along the lines of that she cares for people. So she's like basing the fact that she thinks chemtrails are real off of her, like, you know, her love for people. I think she genuinely like loved people. I think she really did. I think she cared about people so much that it broke her. That like when somebody said, yo, you think that these vaccinations are doing all these bad things, and now the government's trying to force people to do this. They're mandating it. Now that you can't go to a concert, they'll fire you from your job. All of these things. Like that got to her on a level that spoke to her preconceived bias that these vaccines were doing these things. And that's made her more susceptible to the MAGA QAnon. This is all just a scheme to control you, to keep you from having your own, you know, life, to take away your freedoms. And I think it broke her. Yeah, I agree with that, but that's, you know, some people are going to say that. Some people are going, a lot of people, so do you know my symbolism versus substance argument, Andrew? If you don't, I'll explain it to you. And that is that people, specifically people in the MAGA Republican sphere, believe in symbolism over substance. So they would rather see things and feel things than ever know that things are being done correctly. So when you look at Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, you see substance versus symbolism. Joe Biden, all of his legislation that he has passed has major substance. When you talk about the CHIPS and Science Act, it leads to a better future for America. When you look at what happened during COVID, we saw what can happen to the prices of technology when demand is really high, but the ability to produce is really low, and that was all due to semiconductors. So the substance of the CHIPS and Science Act, in some way, doesn't 100% make the future of America like waterproof or watertight, but it does make it more watertight. But people don't want that. They don't want to think about, oh, how can the CHIPS and Science Act make America a better place? How can it affect us? How can it affect our children? How can it affect our grandchildren? Instead, what they want is they want a person that stands up there and talks about, you know, the dumb shit that Donald Trump talks about. They want him to ramble. They want him to toss out word salad. They want him to almost get assassinated and then pump his fist and y'all fight because they like symbolism, not substance. So when you say that person is basing their foundation on emotions, that's all these people do. Every part of their argument is appeal to emotion. Every part of their belief system is appeal to emotion. None of it has any foundation in substance or logic, or at the best, very little to do with substance or logic. Here, we gotta keep watching this. Let's keep watching.
The Earth is flat.
Hold on, since there's a bunch of you in chat, I'm gonna just tell you my 3 rules. Do not tell people to hurt themselves. Do not tell people you are going to hurt them. And at no point should you guys be talking about PDF files. I don't give a fuck who you're talking about, left or right. Do not talk about harming children in my chat or I will ban you, just so you guys know. Those are my rules. There's 3 very simple rules.
Attending the first Flat Earth International Conference here in Cary, North Carolina, their Earth
I
is
agree. I don't think it's acceptable
not
either.
round.
That's what I argue against. That's the whole point of what I argue
have gone
against.
up to 11 with things like QAnon.
Precise numbers are impossible to
Blaze,
gauge.
Blaze,
Millions of people
you're like
are
right
thought to be
there.
Caught up
Don't
in
talk about
QAnon's
children.
Wacky beliefs.
All I
There are
ask.
people in QAnon who are really just concerned about children. There are people in QAnon who really just hate Hillary Clinton, and there are people who do want to overthrow the government. So it appeals to almost everybody, and it really is almost anybody that can be sucked into it.
But one group that seems to buy into it more than anyone else is white evangelical Christians.
Evangelical Christians are more likely than other religious groups to believe in certain conspiracy theories, like that Trump won the 2020 election or in QAnon theories, according to a study by the conservative American Enterprise.
Now, I think you might be misunderstanding something I'm saying, Andrew. I'm not defending them at all. I think substance is the only argument you should be having. Symbolism has 0 place in this. I'm not in any way defending anything that person believes. I was using her as an example of why that person no longer exists on the left. That person is no longer a left-wing person. She is now a MAGA Republican. So I'm not defending it. What I'm saying is my theory as a whole. So hold on. First, we got to start with the question. The question that I'm asking is why has the conspiracy right become so large and so loud? And one of my theories that I'm positing is that people on the left that had those type of inclinations towards symbolism instead of substance are part of the reason. They are now part of that group, and that's why the size of it is swelling. Those people are no longer left-wing people. They will no longer, they all think Bernie Sanders is a sellout. They think that that the Democratic Party is set up and rigged to fail progressive candidates. I'm not defending anything that those people believe. I am positing as a theory that they are one of the reasons that you see the conspiracy right, MAGA right, QAnon right has ballooned into this big, loud cult. I believe that they're part of it. Yeah, I'm not trying to make it understand. I'm trying to make me understand it. I'm trying to make me understand it.
Institute. A survey from January says more than a quarter of white evangelicals believe the QAnon conspiracy theories are true.
27% of white evangelicals say the idea that Donald Trump has been fighting a group of child traffickers, a key tenet of the conspiracy theory, is mostly or completely accurate, according to a study by the conservative American Enterprise Institute.
I mean, I get it. I, too, want to save children from bad people, but...
Yeah, and this is, we've talked about this before. If you name an act, if you name a piece of policy legislation, stop child trafficking, right? Like, 100%, like, everybody's going to get behind it. Even the fucking traffickers are going to be behind it, because if they're not behind it, they're going to be like, oh, fuck, they know it's me. Everybody's going to get behind the don't do that shit bill, right? And that's why, like, you have, like, nonprofit organizations that are complete pieces of shit that steal all the money. Speaking of Donald Trump's childhood cancer charity, that they were all stealing money from those children. Yeah, that's one of them, right? So you can understand why people get involved in this type of stuff. And you can understand why certain people that probably aren't necessarily bad people are attracted to this type of stuff. But if they haven't researched the totality of what's going on here, that's a lot like saying, well, Project 2025 isn't that bad. All they want is a traditional family. Yeah, if that's all you read into Project 2025, I'm sure you would believe it isn't that bad. But if you've actually read into Project 2025, you know that is the largest piece of fucking legislation, or it's not legislation, the largest plan for legislation in The Handmaid's Tale, all right? Like, that is the foundation for fucking stripping women of their rights, stripping people of their rights, and putting forth a society that is strictly Christian nationalism. So, yeah, if you want to just get into the beginning of Project 2025 and you're like, they just want a traditional family, that's all. Yeah, that's the same shit here. Like, QAnon, on the surface, is help children. And then as you get further and further into that shit, it's not just help children anymore. It's weird shit.
But this movement is dangerous.
You might have seen people sharing the hashtag Save the Children or Save
I think that
Our
there's
Children
some drugs
over the
involved,
past few months
AJ.
on social media. But much of this online activity has nothing to do with the respected and real Save the Children charity, which has been around for more than 100 years. Its name, Save the Children, has been hijacked by followers of the QAnon conspiracy theory. In a statement, the charity has emphasized they have nothing to do with this movement.
Several signs were references to other unfounded conspiracy theories alleging rings in the Democratic Party. Conspiracies also shared on the Facebook page that organized the event, some posts calling for violence.
You have to do your own research and know your own facts and decide for yourself.
Oh yes, the conspiracy theorist scientific method.
Do your own research, but then when you do your own research, they get super mad at you that you come to a different conclusion. This is my biggest issue with Doomers so far, is that they say, do your own research. I then look into the things they tell me to look into, and I come to a conclusion that they disagree with. And at that point, there's just no help for you. No hope for you. Okay, that's fine. Then there's no hope for me. But what you have to realize is that just because somebody reads the same things that you do, specifically when you talk about the stuff that they're saying do your own research on, because all of it is conjecture, all of it is appeal to emotion, none of it is statistically provable, none of it is factual. You're going to have people that come to different conclusions based off of life experience, based off of the things that they've read outside of the research that you're asking them to read. But, like, this idea that it's just like, do your own research and you'll come to the same conclusion. No, 99% of America is probably not going to come to the conclusion that you came to, or at this point it sounds like about 53% of America.
Google it and decide for yourself, because that's how facts work. Whatever you decide is true, is true.
The name Save the Children,
Alternative
they've also
facts.
seized on and are distracting from the very real and serious issue of missing and exploited children. Much of their focus instead is on conspiracy theories about Hollywood stars and Democrats.
Yeah, it's doing the opposite of what it says it's doing. It's taking resources away from organizations that are actually trying to do something for actual children.
QAnon conspiracy theories about Tom Hanks and Oprah and Democratic leaders being cannibals, and they have become completely immersed in the cult of Donald Trump.
But Jesus himself is trying to tell us about this, so...
He may have played the role of Jesus Christ in Mel Gibson's 2004 movie The Passion of the Christ, but now it seems actor Jim Caviezel is preaching a different kind of gospel, echoing the gospel of QAnon while speaking to a right-wing convention over the weekend.
You said adrenochrome.
Essentially, you have adrenaline in your body. I'll just simplify it. And
Oh,
when you
yeah,
are
okay.
scared, you produce adrenaline. If a child knows
That's
he's going
what I
to
put
die,
in there.
his body will secrete this adrenaline.
Followers of QAnon are obsessed with the idea, without having any evidence, that Hollywood celebrities and other famous people tortured children to extract adrenochrome.
Hi everybody, Eric Trump.
What the
I
fuck,
wanna thank
Eric?
you so much for the tremendous support.
Fuck off my
of my brother.
channel.
He's an amazing guy.
Fuck off.
Some believe to use in satanic rituals.
And this is definitely not the first time evangelicals have jumped on board with conspiracy theories. I mean, look how long they've been denying global warming.
How do you spell Caviezel?
It's very interesting, and a lot of things are proclaimed. Storms are getting worse and a lot of other things. But the periods in history show that warmer periods have actually been better for civilization. We seem to have less extreme weather. We have longer growing seasons. And we have more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now, which is actually greening the planet.
It's greening the planet.
It's greening the planet.
That's good.
Yes, it is.
So,
$100 billion. $100 billion has been spent to make a case for global warming, contrary to scientific method. Scientific method always tries to prove a theory wrong. Doesn't spend $100 billion trying to sell it. Propagandizing pseudoscience.
And look at the satanic panic of the 80s and 90s.
The Ouija board is a seemingly harmless object, yet it can cause big problems.
Dude, you guys are so nuts. All the people that believe this kind of shit, like, dude, it's a satanic web. You guys lost your fucking minds. I'm gonna toss that out there for you guys, just in case you guys think I'm okay with this shit. Y'all are insane.
Dungeons and Dragons is a fantasy role-playing game that teaches demonology.
Oh, dude, I don't have my dice right here. I used to play D&D a lot when I was a kid. I do have all my dragon books next to me, though.
And other occultic themes. Palmistry and tarot cards as methods
Yeah, he
of
doesn't know what
foretelling the
science
future
means. They never
have gotten
do.
Many involved in the occult. Explicit horror films and heavy or black metal rock music are...
So this is actually a good... Okay, so that's something that we should also notate. Let's notate that. Let's see. Satanic Panic... and D&D. What else? Marijuana. What was it? What was the name? Reefer Madness. Reefer Madness. Those are all things that kind of led to this too. It's all stuff that we were looking at.
popular entrances to Satanism.
Satan was infiltrating.
Yeah, they
our
love to
music.
call it a cult
Rock and
because they
roll
don't
today.
understand it, Selena.
Let me warn you that you may have already been conditioned
No shit
to become
here.
part of this Antichrist or anti-Jesus Christ system. Now, Satan is using the rock groups as his patsies to evangelize the youth of the...
Rock music. Rock music was one of the things too. Rock music. What else? Are there other old Jim Caviezel Weasel? Nice, AJ. Thank you for that. Old conspiracy theories that turned out to be absolute bullshit.
world. How better could he tell the young people how to turn away from Jesus and how to come to him? They are worshiping the devil. I don't think a lot of young people know they are worshiping the devil. Or the skeptics, to show them what I'm going to do, I've actually taken the exact piece of tape that you just heard it off of, and I've reverse thread the machine, and I'm going to play that exact piece of tape backwards now. Okay, just to...
that you've not doctored
I
it
have
in
not
any way.
doctored it in any way. All right, let's go ahead and start.
Early Metallica? Oh, video games. Good job, Nick. That's right. Video games. Video games. Oh, rap music. Rap music. Anything that wasn't white people music got fucking completely villainized. Listening to records backwards. Listening to records backwards. That was another weird thing that these people did. Okay. We're getting lots. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here.
Okay.
A Night in Needle Park.
I heard something there.
All right, listen
I'm gonna add that to
I
the
live with
research.
Satan,
I don't know what that
exactly.
means.
You might want to turn it up just a little out here on the floor. I live with Satan. Listen again.
Have you ever heard of a band called Judas Priest?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Well, that's what Judas needed, a priest.
Okay. Now, if you look.
Fun fact, Agoff, the reason that I'm so good at simple math, like I can do complex addition and subtraction problems in my head, is because of D&D. Because I'd have to add together all the dice rolls and stuff like that and subtract like hit points and stuff. So I got really good at all that, doing all of that stuff in my head because of D&D. It also is the reason that I have good handwriting on reports, because I'd write out character sheets and stuff like that. And since other people had to be able to read them, I got in the habit of writing in a very clear manner. So now, like whenever I was a closer, cashier that did closing duties, I'd write out reports for people, and I'd always turn them into the accountants, and the accountants always loved me because my handwriting was so clean. But my handwriting outside of reports is not very clean, which is really funny. But they loved me for that shit, and it's all because of Dungeons & Dragons.
Listen, you heard him say, "Oh, Satan, move in our voices." I want to play that a little slower, and I'm not saying that they put it there. I'm saying that it just sounds to me like it what might be saying that. Now you listen yourself. Let's hear it again.
Yeah, my kid plays drums.
Yep, that's definitely...
And you want, here's another thing. Here's something about these too much time. Too much time on their hands. Much time on their hands. Because, sorry if you guys can hear that too. My mic is set up on the table, so you guys can probably hear all my typing and shit. One of the things that I think is like the biggest like factor to why conspiracy theories have become so prominent in today's society is that people have way too much time on their hands. So if you listen to this guy turning the record backwards, right? Like you can put yourself in his shoes for a minute and think this guy is like looking for things. He dislikes rock music, so he's attempting to find a way to villainize it or make it look bad to young people to attempt to get them away from it. So what does he do? He starts fucking playing records backwards. Of course it sounds weird. Of course it's almost like uncanny valley for the ear. You start doing it, oh wow, and it's the same thing with like the Joe Biden thing. I think it's FJB was the one who brought up the fucking, I wipe my butt. Like, he doesn't say that shit. But when you want to hear something from something, it's like the ballot box thing. People were just getting mad at Biden because they're like, he said battle bots. But if you listen to what the fucking guy says, he says ballot box. But if you want to hear battle bots, that's what you're going to hear. And the same shit happens with people playing the record backwards on this stuff, is that if you want to hear a certain thing, you're going to hear it. And it's too much time on their hands. So I think part of this is that we're going to lead into maybe technology and how social media has like really provided people with an outlet to find mental illness, to actually like experience mental illness that they probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for too much time on their hand because of all of our like all of the amenities and stuff that we have now. And also because there's just so much information that's available as well.
Satan, or that we're highly suggestible and our brains look for patterns. But no, I'll go with Satan.
My question is this. If you've embraced the greatest story ever told, if you
Trump
believe
definitely talks backwards
in the greatest story ever told, why do you have to follow religiously these conspiracy theories brought up by Chinese cults or fringe figures in American politics? I just don't get it.
Yeah, how does this happen? How do these people get wrapped up in these conspiracy theories? I mean, first you have to look at what the pastors are preaching from the pulpit.
We're like, come on, pastors.
Yeah.
You're the key, because if pastors will wake up, people will wake up if we will rise up and be bold and speak and say no more. So it's super exciting what you just said, because the waking up is the beginning of the end. So I pray and hope that the sleeping giant will arise.
Exactly. Get the pastors and you can get the people.
Yeah, play Kid Rock right there.
And you know what? If this doesn't wake us up, what will?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, this is
no, good job,
crossing
Selena.
a line.
Oh, absolutely.
Type as much as you want, Selena. Welcome to the chat.
Of honor for a previous president. Like
Critical
him or not,
thinking
he was
should
the
be taught in
45th
schools.
president of the United States, and that's worthy of honor and respect. You don't just attack his
Greg
home.
Locke.
In the, how?
Oh, Greg Locke. Greg Locke. Oh, wait, we got to go back to Twitter. We got to add Greg Locke to the list. Greg Locke definitely has to go on the list. Is there another person that's like Greg Locke? Who else? There's other people like Greg Locke. I just can't think of their names right now. Who are the other crazy... I mean, Kenneth Copeland. But he's more like... He's not a conspiracy theorist. He's just a fucking psycho religious person. Does Kenneth Copeland have social media? No, he doesn't. That doesn't surprise me. Who's another one? 420 bitches. Yeah, flip side of confirmation bias is cognitive dissonance. We usually disregard information that contradicts us. Exactly. Oh, Michael and Dale. Oh, we got to add Michael and Dale in there. God, I can't believe we didn't put Michael and Dale in there. Okay, we'll keep the Twitter up in case we come across other people that need to be added.
How god-awful that would happen. And you're right. They're coming. You know, Trump says this a lot. They're not attacking me, he says. It's just that they're going after you.
Oh, yeah, that's another
He's just
one.
standing in the way.
They're not attacking me. They're attacking you. Because when people say the rhetoric on the right is not, doesn't in any way raise the temperature of the room, things like they're not attacking me, they're attacking you, is 100% raising the temperature of the room. I'm not attacking me. Wait, Trump. Oh, fucking. Trump. Sorry for all the typing, but you guys are going to have to get used to this. I'll toss that bad boy in there. That's going in the folder too. They're not attacking me, they're attacking you. That is a prime example of rhetoric on the right that is attempting to fear and hate monger.
Or he's a criminal, and FBI are supposed to look at criminals. I mean, just look at how many pastors bought into COVID-19 conspiracies.
It being anti-mask and anti-vaccine is anti-government, and I'm proud to be...
What is it? Is it Awaken America? Is that the name of that crazy... Oh, yeah, I got to put this guy in there, too. Vincent Fiesca. Vincent Fiesca. Where is the notes? Here's the notes. Jesus, there's so many people. Vincent Fusca, supposed to be JFK. Okay. Vincent Fusca. Let's see. What was I just saying? Oh, yeah. Awaken America. Reawaken America? Is it called Awaken America or Reawaken America? Let's put this in the notes. Reawaken America. Oh, who's that guy? Is it Marcus Robinson? Who is the North Carolina Lieutenant Governor? Mark Robinson. That's his name. Yep, he's going on there. Make sure to put him in the list of fucking wackos. Oh, and Michelle Morrow. Mark Robinson. Michelle Morrow. I don't think that's the Michelle Morrow I'm looking for. That one. That one right there. Dude, I can tell just by her fucking thumbnail. I can tell how psycho she is just from the thumbnail. Okay, back to it. Back to it. We are getting lots of good information on this research.
As more and more Americans are getting vaccinated, resistance remains strong within one group in particular, white evangelicals.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
This hesitancy is driven by a distrust in government,
Ted
misinformation,
Kaczynski.
and political
Good
identity.
job, Fatty. Timothy
This is not
McVeigh.
a fringe group. A
Good
quarter
job.
of Americans are evangelical.
If you think for 1 minute
Good
that
job,
those political
Fatty.
elites actually got that vaccination, you are smoking meth in your mama's basement.
Pastor Greg Locke has grown his audience over the last year by calling COVID-19 a fake pandemic and the vaccine a scam.
Just a little caveat along all these. We're not conspiracy theorists. You know, I saw a shirt the other day that said I need some new conspiracy theories because all mine have come true, you know. And certainly they have. So they can call us QAnon. They can call us what we want to.
Vaccine. Number one, the virus has been a scam from the beginning. It's always been politically motivated for mail-in ballots and voter ID.
No, Titus, Mike. We gotta stick to. I'm trying to research for the book, Mike.
So what do I find out, Max?
Stop trying to make me play Titus. What's up, famous
So,
one?
Sylvia, the
from
man does
France.
not exist, okay?
Welcome.
So I decided, oh shit, buddy, I gotta dig a little deeper. There's no Pepe Sylvia. You gotta be kidding me! I got boxes full of Pepe.
People attend a religious service because they care what the religious leader has to say. So yeah, they have a huge impact on what people think. And that can be very dangerous. And even though it's illegal for churches to tell you how to vote in America and still keep their tax-exempt status, that doesn't stop pastors from preaching their political opinions, no matter how far out they are.
To be free from the fake news, which is in fact a state-run propaganda television network in the United States of America that's no different.
John Hagee. He's going on the list too. Oh, this is good. Oh, this Twitter is going to be the most cesspool Twitter that has ever existed. Oh, oh God. Why am I doing this to myself? Oh, Paula White! Dude. Fuck, she is such a psycho. Okay. All right. Yeah, oh, dude, we are getting good information. I like this.
Than the Soviet Union or China.
I've already got Elon Musk on there.
Let me say it this way. When 5 television networks say the same thing, same message, the same...
You weren't here last night when I saw Matt Getz's picture for the first time. What the fuck was he thinking? I was telling people, I was like, did Matt Getz go into like a gay barber shop and he's like, fuck these eyebrows up. I want it to look fabulous. I want these eyebrows to be the most fabulous eyebrows at the RNC tonight. And some gay barber dude was like, fuck yeah, hell yeah, brother. And look, one of these. And oh yeah, one of those. Then he got done and Matt Getz was like, oh shit. Those eyebrows were fabulous.
Same way every day. This is called brainwashing.
Yes, he is a disgrace of a pastor, yeah.
Do yourself a favor and turn them off.
Oh, that's so dangerous. Don't trust the media, but trust me, I have the facts right. The media doesn't.
How about just critically think about everything everybody tells you? How about that?
The American people for 4 years now. They lied about President
this guy's
Trump's
never lied,
collusion
guys.
with a Russian spy.
Want to look pretty for Hogan? Oh, Jewish space lasers.
No collusion.
Dude, I'm saying all these conspiracy theories on fucking stream. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. And the Biden skin suit too. Jewish space lasers. I'm probably gonna have to get my channel unbanned again after this shit. You're like, I wasn't spreading them. I'm researching them to show people how fucking dumb they are. The skin suit. What's some other ones? RBG, right? Wasn't there one about RBG? There's like a conspiracy about RBG too.
There was only a congressional coup to overthrow a sitting president, which happens to be treason.
You want me to show the picture of Getz?
To impeachment.
Here, I'll show a picture of Getz. Where is the one? Oh, Christ. Oh, God, it's a 30-second ad? Why is there a 30-second ad? Who the fuck? I need to turn my ad blocker back on. RFK is going to... fake ballots. Ballot stuffing. Thank you. Yeah, that's another one. I should just put 2,000 meals on here. 2,000 meals. Because that's all that stuff. We'll put that in there, too. Yeah, they're called rhinos when they disagree. Yeah. I refer to the MAGA Republicans as the rhinos. Because they are actually the Republicans in name only. The Mueller report, there's literally indictments and people that were found guilty in the Mueller report, but none of the people that want to argue about the Mueller report will actually argue about the Mueller report. They want to tell you that there was no collusion that was discerned within the report, which is disingenuous because though you could say there was no collusion proven, there was 100% interference proven, and that interference was shown to be known by Donald Trump. I have a video of Donald Trump where he literally... Is it right here? Let's just pull this up real quick. That's Trump's full phone call. Is it this one? Here you go. This shit right here.
Look, I'll cut the malarkey. We're facing a critical fundraising deadline. With the election just around the corner.
That a person in our government, Katie, would delete or get rid of 33,000 emails.
That gives me a big problem. After she gets a subpoena, she gets subpoenaed, and she gets rid of 33,000 emails. That gives me a problem. Now, if Russia or China or any other country has those emails, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd love to see them. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
Yeah. Yeah, so for all the people that say that Donald Trump didn't interfere, Donald Trump had nothing to do with Russia, none of that shit, just remember that that fucking video clip exists, okay? 100%. Donald Trump, if you can say there was no collusion, but if you say that Donald Trump didn't in any way, shape, or form have any knowledge of Russian interference in our elections, you're a fucking idiot. Because it was proven throughout the Mueller report, and in no way did the Durham report exonerate him from that knowledge. The Durham report the only thing that John Durham came to was he believed that the evidence wasn't enough to open an investigation into collusion on that subject. But this is a lot like saying, if I knew somebody was trying to kill my wife and they came to me and they said, hey, I'm going to do this. And I was like, you shouldn't do that. And they were like, yeah, well, I'm going to do this. And I was like, yeah, I just don't think it'd be a good idea if you did it. Well, I'm going to do it anyways. And then you went and killed my wife. I would be still culpable to the fact that somebody had told me they were going to do that shit and I turned a blind eye to it. So though there was no collusion, it's like that fucking far away from it. The dude literally asked Russia to send him the emails. And on that day, just so you know, they proved on that day that there were numerous scam phishing emails sent to Hillary Clinton and her campaign to attempt to steal information from her and the DNC on the same day he said that shit. This is why I'm done with all this shit. I'm not fucking doing this middle ground bullshit with people anymore.
It's the lawsuits, the paying hush money to adult film stars, all of that.
Oh, do you want that? You want that video? Here, I'll post a video for you. I'll post it in the Discord too. Anytime you guys want any of this shit, let me know.
That a person...
Here you go. There you go. That's it right there. And I also, like I said, I'll also post that in Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you should join the Discord. You can be in there talking to wonderful people like Woke Dragon and Toxie and Grey Pill and A-Golf and He Hurts. All of these people are always in the Discord and sharing amazing stuff. And we're building a great community. And FJB's in there too, even if he's just arguing with everybody.
For treason.
Oh, you're such fake news! Sad.
The senior pastor of Evangel World Prayer Center is coming under fire for this.
Dude, fake news. Why do I not have that in here? Fake news. Fake news. If you guys think of any other conspiracy theories from these people, let me know. Dude, the list is so long. I love how people that enjoy conspiracy theories are like, we're right. We're right so often. It's like, dude, if you threw 10,000 darts and 6 of them hit the dartboard, no one would be like, you're a good dart player. No one would be like, holy shit, this guy is a fucking prophet. No, you literally conspiracy theorize on everything in the fucking world. On wars, on the economy, on healthcare, on fucking inflation. You conspiracy theorize on everything. And then when you get like 2 things even fractionally right, I'm not even talking about you get the whole thing right. You get it fractionally right. And you guys are like, see? Boom! Gotcha, bitch! It's like, no, if you were a baseball player and you got 6 hits out of 1,000, you would make no teams. No teams! Sandy Hook. That's another one. That's another one. I should just go do... Oh, dude, I need to put Alex Jones on this list. I don't know why I don't have Alex Jones on this list. I should just go look up everything to do with him. I could probably get 1 million. Mike, you're not in the Discord. Are you in the Discord? I don't ever see you in the Discord. Oh, Obama. There you go. The conspiracy about Obama. Oh, and Trump is still president too. Trump is still president. He runs the military. Al Jazeera, Trump calls Biden a bad Palestinian. Okay, I'm gonna put that in here. Change it. If you're talking to me, you have to hit @Progressive Matters. Just so I know, changed. If you're once again, for people in chat, if you're trying to talk to me, you have to hit @Progressive Matters, so that way it highlights it in orange, so I know that you're talking to me. Oh, Deep State. Yeah, sorry. I saw that one too. God, there's so many. It's so fucking insane how many of these conspiracy theories there are. Yeah, Tia, 100% he did. why is Biden trying to Tupac Trump? Oh, Steve Bannon. Good call, Selena. Good call. Bannon. Can't forget Bannon. He's in prison for like 4 weeks. Obama! Wow. Agoff, that's fucking insane. Oh, Hunter's laptop. Yeah, good job. Hunter's laptop. YouTube's like algorithm right now is probably off the hook. It's probably like, he's saying all the bad words. Don't worry, it's for a good reason, YouTube. It's for a good reason. Except for the exiting and the oh, the birth certificate. Holy fuck, Nick, you are killing it right now. God, it's just so hard to remember all of these. Oh yeah, that's another one. The Big Mike conspiracy. Michelle Obama trans theory. Jesus, God, there's so many. Wait, is that real? He hurts? Is that real? Or are you just fucking with me right now? Yeah, exactly. Stan, yeah, I understand that. That's 100% true. Dude, is that real too, Genie? Yeah, that's just straight up racism changed. that was they're like, his name is Hussein. That's all you need to know. All you need to know is his name is Hussein. God. Okay, I'll put it on here. Pepsi. Okay. Oh, so it's like stem cell things. All the stem cell stuff. I don't remember specific ones, but I remember they had a bunch of stem cell stuff. Pepsi. God damn, there's so many. Oh yeah, the voting machines. Obviously, yeah, overturn fraudulent election, rigged election, Dominion. Oh yeah, the Dominion voting machines were from Venezuela, is what they claimed. Venezuela. Good fucking God, dude, this list is gigantic. I got that one already, Fatty. AJ. all right. Oh, George Soros. Yeah, George Soros is another one that they fucking love. Just anything to do with Soros, right? Who's another person that they completely villainize? Oh, Bill Gates. Who are the other people that they like fucking just like have like insane theories about? I mean, I know QAnon has a whole like PDF file ring that was like fucking Kevin Spacey, Eminem, Akon. I don't know why some of these people were added to it. Like some of the most random shit. All right, we're never going to get through this video.
Is Sunday service prayer.
Those that have stolen this election, those that have cheated,
Soros owes you 40
I
years
place
back
the
pay.
curse of God upon them.
Where there are political prisoners.
Yeah.
And here, it's not
Yeah, we
equal
got
either.
space lasers.
I mean, where's the FBI
Yeah, we got
when
the
it
gate.
comes to Hillary Clinton's 33,000
Oh, the
emails, or
Pelosi
Hunter
one,
Biden's laptop
Yes.
computer, or you can go on and on. And
Could you go on and on? Like, could you? Because it seems to me that it always just comes back to, what about the emails? And what about Hunter Biden's
Oh, the
laptop?
emails?
Also, the FBI did look into Hillary's emails, right? Like that was a big thing.
The private notes of the FBI agents investigating her use of a private email server revealed, redacted, but unprecedented nonetheless. The notes lay out the probe
Jesus, he hurts.
and details Clinton's own interview with the law
Linda
enforcement
Graham.
officials.
the left gets
Who is
away with
Linda Graham, Ross?
anything. And they
Oh,
almost
Lindsey
think that they
Graham.
could steal an election.
Yeah.
They get away.
What is the Lindsey Graham theory? Is this going to be weird? Oh, there'll never be another Republican president elected again. But wasn't that because he was saying that it's because Donald Trump? Lindsey Graham is so funny. What is happening today to you and your family, sir, is just plain wrong. It's wrong. Why does he always seem like he's about to cry? Oh, JFK Jr. Yeah, I think I have that one on here, but I could be wrong. Do I have that one on here? Dude, how do I not have JFK Jr. on here? Whoa, that's crazy. Return of JFK. Okay. Return. Communism was a Jewish conspiracy? Jesus Christ. Crowd size. Crowd size. Crowd size always. Mitt Romney, does he have a binder of women, though? Mitt Romney's birds aren't real! Dude. That's one of my favorite. You guys know that was started as a joke? A guy started that as a joke and it became a conspiracy theory? I remember that Mitt Romney binder of women thing. That was funny. Oh, 5G towers. 5G towers. Ross, I'm trying to see if you can keep up with all the ones these guys are spitting out. You've got 2 so far. No, windmills are causing cancer was my favorite. Jay, you're still here. Good job, buddy. You've made it this long. Ooh, Mitt Romney's favorite meat is hot dogs theory. I actually believe that. I think Anthony Weiner's favorite food is hot dogs myself. Now you got it. It's S-O-R-O-S, Selena. No, I knew somebody. Oh yeah, that the left eats babies. I think that goes along with the Chrome, but oh, that you could buy Chrome off the you could buy the Adreno off the Alibaba. That was one. Tower 7. Oh, is that the 9/11 one? Yep, 9/11. Oh, Epstein didn't kill. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still wondering on that one myself. But we're gonna throw that on there. we'll call it Epstein's list. How about that? Was it the Clinton picture at Epstein Island? Which to this day I still claim that's because Clinton lost in fantasy football. Windmills kill whales. Windmills kill, apparently, according to Trump, windmills kill everything. Let's just kill birds. The electric battery theory. The electric battery shark theory. Kills birds, whales. Oh, that's right. Obama. They claimed Obama was a terrorizer. God damn, now we're going back. We're going back to the good old days. Yeah, the pizza shop one, I got that one. Is there an exploding trees conspiracy theory? Oh, more people killed by hammers and guns. That was one of my favorites. Oh, God. That's, yeah. Rake the Forest. That was my favorite, Tia. Rake the Forest was my favorite. Okay, all right, we got to get back to the video. We're never going to get through this.
They get away with so much. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why wouldn't they steal an election?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one,
it's
Stan.
illegal?
When they get away with everything, and then a man named Donald
sun
Trump,
is cold, Florida.
they've tried
Sun
to
is
catch
cold,
on
or
anything
not
and everything.
real.
They make up stuff about Russia.
Yeah.
They spy on them. They've tried anything and everything. They can't find a thing, but now they're going to ransack his house.
What's the
I
other
think it's a
one?
move of desperation on their part because
the mainstream
gay depopulation
Republican Party has abandoned our president and are running for the hills. And I said, you know, I saw him on
What's
TV
some other
yesterday,
depopulation
and
things they believe?
did a close-up of his face.
Drag queens, yeah.
And I said, I looked into his eyes.
Drag queens.
And I could see a man that loves this country.
Dude, this is fucking insane that there's this many of them. Jay,
I
no
could
spamming,
see a
Jay.
man that knew
If you
he
spam
won,
again, I gotta boot you.
and yet
Jay.
it was being stolen
Bye,
from
buddy.
him.
We do not endorse candidates.
But not every evangelical that buys into this stuff have pastors that
booped.
preach it from the pulpit. What about them? Well, think about this. From a young age, church kids are taught not to have critical thinking skills. They are taught to
COVID, yeah,
live
that's a
by
good one.
faith and not by sight.
I live by faith and not by sight. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I live by faith and not by sight. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
What
the fuck? About this video about faith we're doing. Should we hire musicians for this?
What the
or like
fuck was
people
this?
who know how to sing together? No.
Dude.
I have faith that it'll come together.
Oh my
The Bible says that we should take up the shield of faith so that we can extinguish the flaming arrows of the evil one. And if you don't already know, faith is believing in something that you
Joe
can't
Scarborough murdered one of
right?
his interns.
And so when we're talking about the shield of faith, we're talking about
Jesus
believing.
Christ, these people believe
Not
the
just believing in
craziest
something,
thing.
believing in Jesus Christ as our Savior.
Douglas, my friend, I have been there.
Gender
I
transitions,
get
yeah.
it. I really do. Life can get you down sometimes.
Bad AIDS?
But
Yeah,
if
I
you're
remember
gonna
that
make
one.
a video for kids, you need to have some
Ooh,
energy.
yeah.
Like
Was it
even
IKEA?
a little bit of energy. We grew up in a world where we ignored scientific study in exchange for people's opinions
I think it was
and
IKEA
arguments.
that they thought that.
Like whether humans and dinosaurs lived at the same time.
Those who believe in a younger age for the Earth tend to agree that the Bible does mention dinosaurs, although it never
the
actually...
5,000-year-old theory. The Earth is 5,000 years old. That's another one. Jesus Christ, this list is fucking insane. Like, if this is ever found in my search history and somebody thinks that I believe these things, I feel for my family. I feel for my family. Yep, I got that one, Perry. I got that one. The white hats. Good job, Vaughn. I remember that one too. The white hats. Dude, I've got my work cut out for me. God damn, this is going to be so much work. Just deciding which of these to include is going to be the hard Mormonism. Dinosaurs on the Ark! Yes! Oh, it was Wayfair. You're right. It was Wayfair. It wasn't IKEA. Sorry, IKEA. Sorry, IKEA. It was Wayfair. And wasn't that because there was like an ad of like a kid coming out of like a CT unit or something like that?
It uses the word dinosaur. Instead, it uses the Hebrew word ta'im, which
Yeah, I
is
got that one,
translated a
Dart.
few different ways in our English Bible. Sometimes it's
Florida.
sea monster, and sometimes it's serpent. It's most commonly translated dragon.
Oh, Obama
the ta'im
chef
appear to
death,
have
that's
been
right.
some sort of giant reptile.
Oh, and
these
the
creatures
Obama
are mentioned
is
nearly
gay.
30 times in the Old Testament, and were found both on land and in water. In addition to mentioning these giant reptiles, the Bible describes a couple of creatures in such a way that scholars believe that the writers may have been describing dinosaurs. The behemoth is said to be the mightiest of all of God's creatures, a giant whose tail is likened to a cedar tree. Some scholars have tried to
GRT.
identify the
Good call.
behemoth as either an elephant
Yeah, I got
or
the
a
Bill Clinton and Blue
hippopotamus.
Dress one.
Others point out that elephants and hippopotamuses
Yeah, I'm reading
have
a
very
book on
thin
climate change
tails,
right now. It's
nothing
fucking
comparable to a
hilarious.
cedar
I'm
tree.
like, dude.
Dinosaurs like the Brachiosaurus and the Diplodocus, on the other hand,
People
had
are so
huge tails, which could easily be compared to a cedar tree. Nearly every ancient civilization has some sort of art depicting giant reptilian creatures.
There are a number of paintings from medieval times, the time, not the restaurant, where you can see what an artist believed an animal looked like based on the descriptions of the animals that they had heard. Like this oyster,
Reptilians.
or this elephant,
Elders
or
of
this
Zion.
whale, or this snail. Job was the first book of the Bible that was written. So it was written way before the Middle
Lemurians.
Ages.
Can't forget the Lemurians.
So maybe they got the description of animals wrong, or even maybe they made up an animal, or maybe it was dinosaurs.
Yeah, and so, listen, I'm not a genius, but if I was told, to put certain kind of animals on the ark, whether it be an elephant,
When did that happen, Change?
or a dinosaur, I would put
the Clinton hit list.
a fully mature adult on there.
Zuckerberg's an alien. That
And
might
if
be
God
true.
brought the animals to the ark, I'm not sure he
Just
sent
kidding,
the
YouTube.
largest, what we would know today as African elephant in the world. And I would bring a small elephant. I'm not a genius.
I'd bring a baby.
Okay? I'd bring a baby dinosaur. So what's really interesting, I'll
Yeah,
tell
I
you
got that
though,
one to you.
where they go.
Got that one.
Okay, well, after the flood, a lot changed about the earth, including as the
I think
water
they
began
also
to
said
recede.
Zuckerberg was
Initially,
an
there wasn't
android.
much land. Okay, I think you could say, I
But isn't
don't
it
know what
human?
percentage. At first, it was just mountain peaks that were around. So a lot of the world was covered still in water. Limited food supply, destruction of a lot of habitat.
a list.
And then also in Genesis 9:3, we see that God says, now
Columbus
you can
discovered
start
America.
to eat meat.
That's a good one.
And so I imagine that if
Ah,
you're looking
the
for a
black
food
jobs.
supply, you kill the largest food supply that you can kill.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that in a documentary once.
Hey, Barney, you like a steak rare? That one's yours.
Hey! Hey, stop! Come here, you purple roach!
I'm not a genius.
Or we were told we could disprove
Yeah.
science by discrediting a scientist's character instead of challenging the actual science.
Charles Darwin's
Hiroshima.
book,
Fucking
The Origin of
Hiroshima.
Species, is often what they call simply the origin of species. This is not the whole title. They're kind of embarrassed by the whole title today because he was a racist. Of course, in 1859, most people were racists. America still had slavery in 1859. But the whole title to his book is The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. Darwin thought that there were different races of humans, different races.
All right, we're currently I'm doing research for this book on how conspiracy theories have led to this fucking serious illness in the MAGA Republican sphere. So everybody's reminding me of all the crazy conspiracy theories that people believe or did believe at one point or another. And let's just say the list is very long. The list is so long. Hey, Mike, see you in a bit. Ball tanning. That was the Tucker Carlson one, right? Yeah, Reefer Madness. I got Reefer Madness on this one. Gotta have an ID to buy bread. Oh, dude, that's one of my favorites. That's on there now. That was one of my favorites. Gotta have an ID to buy bread.
Of animals, and the strongest survived, and that was good.
Good guy
It
with
was
the
best
bad
if
guys.
weakest
Yeah,
died
exactly.
off.
Good guy with the
This,
gun
of
will
course,
stop the bad
motivated
guy with the gun.
Adolf Hitler to speed
That's
up the
one of my
process.
favorites.
We learned to only listen to the side of the argument that agreed with
Exactly,
the
Liz.
side we already agreed with. Like when looking at the historicity of the
man.
Bible. For example, from this video from
Oh,
1 Minute
man.
Apologist called How Do We Know the Bible is Historically Accurate?
You have shared how Jesus affirmed the historicity of the Bible. For instance, using the example of Jonah, just as Jonah was in the belly of the whale 3 days and 3 nights, so too will the Son of Man be. Is that an affirmation of the historicity of that event, or could somebody say, hey, this is just an affirmation of that story, be it history or not?
When Jesus said that in Matthew 12:40-42, he used a strong contrast in Greek, just as Jonah.
The Bible is true because Jesus said the Bible is true. That's why it's true. I like that. That's like Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025. What do you mean he has nothing to do with Project 2025? There's all kinds of information that shows that he should know all kinds of things about Project 2025. No. He said on Twitter that he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. Like that's legitimately the argument about Trump not having anything to do with Project 2025. They're like, dude, like he tweeted in 2018 that he had pushed 64% of the Heritage Foundation's agenda through within the first year in his presidency. He has something like 140 of 180 people that have worked in the Heritage Foundation have worked for Donald Trump. Here's him shaking the dude's hand. Here's the dude that worked for him that also works for them. All this evidence, and people are like, yeah, but on Twitter he said that he doesn't know anything about it. That's like the same thing. Oh, God. Oh, Hollow Earth.
Jonah was, so I will be.
Can't forget about Hollow Earth.
So if you're going to make Jonah into mythology, you're going to have to make his death and resurrection into mythology.
Isn't the moon isn't real?
and done.
Or if Jesus literally died and
the
literally
Matrix.
rose from the dead, then it must have been a literal.
Dude, that's
Jonah.
like the
You
big
can't
one,
have
right?
without the
All
other.
these fucks
So the way the
believe in
language
Matrix.
works, it allows you to equate them to both be fact.
And he did the same thing in Matthew
cops
24 on the
sometimes
flood,
don't do a good job,
just
Florida.
as it was in the days of Noah. The eating,
Sometimes it just
drinking, marrying before
doesn't work out that way.
So it will be in the days of the
and
coming
my
of the
uncle's
Son of Man. He
captain
will
of the
engage
CHP, just by
such
the
an
way.
important teaching.
And
as
my
his
nephew
death
was
and
killed by
resurrection
police, so.
and his second coming on a myth.
Hollow
Just as
Earth.
you believe that myth, I'd like to tell you this historical truth.
Now, I'm no historian, but I'm sure
When is
convinced
a
now.
hologram?
Here's what I do know,
Hollow
though.
Earth.
Within the second or third generation of Christians, if you could get a Christian to deny Christ as Lord and go back to the Roman gods, you wrote about it. Because Pliny the Younger writes to Trajan and says, hey, I'm getting these people who weren't eyewitnesses, people who just learned from the eyewitnesses, I'm torturing them or pushing them back toward the Roman gods.
Hitler. I didn't know anything.
One way to end
I
the
didn't know
game
anything
early,
about the
get
Nazi
the body
Party.
of Jesus
I
dragged
had
around
no
town.
idea.
That's game over. That didn't happen. Or get those who said they saw him alive to recant. And guess what?
This
That
chat
didn't
is getting
happen either.
flagged
And we
so
know
hard
they were
right
looking
now.
to do it because when they got a second generation Christian to do it, they talked about it.
Oh,
What
all
we
right.
don't
There's
have
like
is a single
freaking
ancient document in which
1,300
any
other
opponent of
religions that have
Christianity
similar
could
stories
ever
to the
say
Bible.
that one of the eyewitnesses recanted.
Or that they existed. The other option
Yeah, I
is
got that
maybe
one,
there
Vaughn.
weren't any eyewitnesses, and the so-called
We might
second
actually be coming
generation
down to the
are really
nitty-gritty
ones
now.
who made
Now
it
if you
up.
guys tell
And
me
that's
one
why
that I
there
haven't
are
heard
no
yet.
records of the first generation recanting it, because they weren't real, which is why there are no contemporary writings about Jesus' death and resurrection.
We got
So
that
we're
one,
told
ours
just
wife.
to trust things on faith. Then we're told just to be okay with very weak arguments.
And my Bible
Ralph
says that
Smart-
God
oh,
created
God.
all
man.
animals
Oh.
on what, the fifth day?
Oh.
And so there we go. I think the Bible does talk about the fact that there were creatures that existed.
And then you're also constantly looking for signs that the world
what up, Jen?
is ending.
Horseless carriages, of course, that's the automobile.
That's Nahum chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. It
No way
says,
the
the
Jews
chariots
say
shall
that.
rage in the
Oh,
streets
wait.
in the day of...
The recent one was Jewish people trying to take down TikTok. Jewish people, like, what are some like real recent conspiracy theories from these guys? The Jewish people TikTok one was just like not too long ago. Trying. Like, there's got to be some ones that like we haven't covered that have just like recently they've been talking about.
of
Like,
his
we've covered a lot of
preparation
the
when
older ones.
the Lord prepares to come back to earth.
The desert of Israel blossoming as a rose.
Isaiah 35:1.
The alignment of a 10-nation confederacy or
Yeah,
the
just tune on,
European
period. I
Union.
guess I should
Oh,
do
that's
that.
Daniel chapters 2 and 7 and Revelation chapters 13 and 17.
Yeah, Perry,
Notice
that's just
all the books
run-of-the-mill
on the
shit.
shelves, knowledge increasing.
God said to Daniel, seal the book till the time of the end. How will we know when that time is here? Knowledge shall increase.
I think we have some time. The world is ending. How do you know? Lots of books on
Jewish
shelf.
tunnels.
Oh yeah, good point. There is.
By
Aw, what's
2050,
up,
there
turtles?
will
We
be
just
more
got back from the
plastic than
beach.
fish in the
Aw.
oceans.
Lots
Aw.
of books on shelf. Since the Bible was put together, people have been convinced that
Oh,
the end
that's
was
a new
near.
one. Yep,
When
that's
I
true.
see all that is going on in the world today, the signs of the times, I am aware
good
that
time.
the coming of the Lord is getting nearer and nearer.
When I was a kid, I was told that Gorbachev was the Antichrist because he had a mark on his head, and the Bible mentions the mark of the beast on the forehead. And I was also told it was Ronald
Yeah,
Reagan because
Liz, you
all
are not
three of his
wrong.
names, Ronald, Wilson, and Reagan, had 6 letters. At one point it was Castro, another point it was Henry Kissinger.
What is Van Imp changed? What is that? Van IMPE. Is that Jack Van Imp? That's who this guy is. Okay, I'm gonna put him on the. We'll put him on the list. He goes on the list because I bet you he says some fucking out of this world shit. Although a couple of these guys are actually anti-Trump because they're super pro-God, and like Donald Trump, you know, his pronouns are anti-Christ. So some of these evangelicals are actually anti-Trump, which is fucking kind of crazy. But also
Barack
really
Obama,
hilarious.
pretty much any president, pretty much any
Oh,
pope,
all
most
the
world
people that are
leaders,
alive
any
theories.
major figure was thought to be the Antichrist. Every major event was thought to be a sign of the end of the world, as long as I can remember.
30% of the Bible is full of prophecy. 30%.
Does that make sense? 30% is full of prophecy? What does that remind me of?
60% of the time, it works.
Trump shot himself. Okay.
That doesn't make sense.
Nuclear weapons
Now,
don't
prophecy
exist.
wasn't important. Why would
That's
God
actually
tell
a
us
good
so much
one.
about the future?
I think I've heard that one.
And
We'll
most
look
of
that
that
one up. All of these will be
30%
researched,
is
so you
about
guys
the
better
times
not be
we're
lying
living
to
in,
me.
the end times. So, and you say, well, why would God say so much about the time we're living in?
There will be much
It's
research
going to be
on
the
these.
worst time in human history. We see what's happening in the world today. Jesus said pestilences and earthquakes and famines, that's just the birth pangs.
So you're landing on now,
all the
like,
bad
like
people
current
coming
day,
across the border.
as the
That's
worst time in
another one.
history? Like I'm not saying it's great.
We'll call
in
it
fact,
border
it's most certainly
conspiracies.
not. But the worst time in history.
Border
Ooh,
conspiracies.
I think
That
that's
should
a
that
bit
should
of a
have
stretch.
all of them put
That's not
together.
the birth yet. And so now what we're seeing right now is intensifying. When
What
women
about
have babies,
Yes.
they begin to have birth pangs, but they get closer together and more severe.
Did he just mansplain childbirth to her?
What we're seeing right now, since Israel became a nation in 1948, which actually started the end time clock, we've seen an intensity
the
in
end
birth
time.
pangs. And so
End time
today's world, I've
conspiracy.
never seen anything like this COVID-19 thing.
So nobody involved in that photo knew how masks should be worn? This
What
isn't
was-
a photo that I added. This is a photo that they chose. They had a whole production team.
What was the it's the rapture conspiracy, right? The rapture prophecy, that the reason that certain right-wing people are pro-Israel in this conflict when they're anti-Israel so often is because they believe that that is where the war that ends all wars starts. They believe, and wasn't it they were like going to bring a red cow, with no white hairs at all, and they're going to sacrifice the red cow at a certain building that I don't think it's been constructed yet. What was that fucking one? We'll call it rapture conspiracies. Rapture conspiracies. We'll just add red cow in there to research later. All this stuff's gonna be research later. I'm just making notes right now. We're just making it right now. Yeah, Donald J. Trump is Jesus.
I'm
That's
just
the
one
best
idiot.
of the fucking
Or
worst.
maybe she's trying to catch the rain.
Yeah, we got birds
I've
aren't
never
real.
seen
We got that
what's
one.
happening in the world right now, the unrest, the famines, pestilences, killer hornets. I mean,
We got the
it's crazy.
JFK.
And so it's just apocalyptic.
Yeah,
But these
2K.
are just
Sorry,
the
that's
birth
old
pangs.
school.
Those cities. I was in a city not too long ago, and I went in to eat in the restaurant. I couldn't find anything to eat. I had to do room service because no restaurant would allow me to.
Look at this dude. That's not a real human being. I'm telling you guys. Here, let's just look it up real quick. What is the significance of red cow? The red heifer or red cow is a significant animal that is sacrificed and burned in rituals to restore ritual purity. The red heifer, described in the Bible Book of Numbers, which commands the Israelites to offer a red heifer that is without defect or blemish and that has never been under a yoke. Well, that's going to be hard. Like it's a red cow that is like literally just like roaming the earth like fucking like some kind of mercenary cow. red cow mercenary. The heifer is then given to a priest to slaughter and burn on a pyre of cedar, hyssop, and a strand of scarlet thread. Dude, imagine you guys get the red cow. You got your hyssop, okay? You got your pyre of cedar, and then you're about to burn the cow, and you turn around and you're like, Josiah, where the fuck is the scarlet thread? And he's like, well, I mean, It's red. That's not scarlet, Josiah. Well, it's kind of scarlet. Like, fuck! Like, imagine being the guy that forgot the scarlet thread. The ashes of the red heifer are then mixed with herbs and water from Jerusalem's Gihon spring to create a purifying mix that can last for hundreds of years. But isn't it? I thought it was a part of the rapture. Last battle. The Holy War, red cows, Gaza, and the end of the world. Here we go. It is said that this is where the world began and perhaps where it will end. The true epicenter of the war in the Holy Land is not the devastated Gaza Strip under Israeli assault, since Hamas's bloody raid last October sparked the region's deadliest conflict in decades. It is a few dozen miles away in Jerusalem, at the holiest and most fiercely contested hilltop on earth. The war has increased religious tensions and given new impetus to a group of Jews and their evangelical Christian allies who are set on rebuilding an ancient temple where millennium-old Islamic shrines now stand. A suggestion that arouses the horror not only of Palestinians and Muslims worldwide, but of many Jews in Israel and around the globe, as well as that of would-be Middle East peacemakers. So what they want to do is they want to destroy... there's like mosques, right? They want to destroy some mosques and then put a Jewish temple so that way they can bring about the final world. Third Temple advocates have been preparing for the day when the temple can be rebuilt, complete with rabbinically certified red cows shipped from Texas. What the fuck? Oh my God, it's all so crazy. Oh, let me read that one more time. Their temple advocates have been preparing for the day when the temple can be rebuilt, complete with rabbinically certified red cows shipped from Texas for use in sacrificial purification rituals. God, really moved so far forward with our fucking crazy, fucking old school ritual sacrificial rites here in 2024. Like, you bring the cow in and they're like, wait a minute, was this third party certified by the rabbis? No, I didn't say by those rabbis. I said by the third-party rabbis that the government approved. Not some, like, fucking bullshit, Josiah. Is it from Texas? Why is it got to be from Texas, too? Of course it has to be from Texas. Oh, okay, hold on. The architectural designs are all ready. Along the lines of the detailed biblical descriptions, robes have been woven and utensils assembled to biblical specifications for ceremonies at the planned temple. Like, they have everything set up for this shit. Messianic Jewish supporters believe the rebuilding of the temple, rather than being divisive, would fulfill biblical prophecy to bring an era of peace with the temple as a house of prayer for all nations. Christian backers, meanwhile, believe it would be an important step towards the second coming of Jesus and an apocalyptic last battle with the Antichrist. Our holy warriors are fighting in Gaza are actually fighting for the building of the temple, one Jewish prayer leader pronounced recently on a controversial visit to the believed site of two previous Jewish temples in Jerusalem. Standing before the Dome of Rock, the gleaming Islamic shrine that has sat for more than 1,300 years on the same contested spot, Marina Sokol, an Israeli mother whose son was killed fighting Hamas in Gaza, proclaimed, "The war we are waging is a war for the Temple Mount." In their war to destroy Israel and replace it with an Islamic state, Hamas leaders also readily draw on the symbolism of Jerusalem and the Temple of Mount, known to Muslims as Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary. It is the third holiest site in Islam with its mosque, as well as being the holiest site in Judaism. This round of conflict is being waged by the resistance under the name, whatever that name is. It is not for the sake of Gaza or the West Bank, but rather for the sake of Jerusalem and Hamas. And this is why when you guys come in here and want me to fucking take an opinion on the Israel-Hamas conflict, and I say things like anybody that's innocent dying is fucking horrific, and you're like, you gotta have a better take than that, bro. I can't have a better take. They're fighting over a fucking hill. They're fighting over a hill that one person wants to demolish their holy place so they can raise their holy place because they believe that a fucking red cow that comes from Texas that is third-party certified can be burned on a pyre with fucking scarlet thread. I can't wrap my mind around this, guys. You guys put too much pressure on me. How the fuck am I supposed to have like a fucking sane take on a war that is over a hill that supposedly leads to the last apocalyptic battle of the Antichrist. How the fuck am I supposed to have a sane take on that? God damn it. Sorry, I lost it, guys. I lost it for just a second. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm back. Whew. All right, we can't go any further in this. We're going to get all worked up in chat. We can't have chat get all worked up. All right. I wanted to watch this Information Age one, but we're already past time. We're already past time for the book learning, the book educating. And I wanted to watch this video because it is Destiny debating the polling question with Elon Musk. Excuse me. Now, some of you aren't fans of Destiny, and I understand that. Destiny says things specifically about the Israel-Hamas conflict that people do not agree with, and I can understand that. But this conversation is a conversation that is incredibly important to left-wing politics going forward, because this is Elon Musk under a different handle. He's faking that he's not Elon Musk, and he's actually, I believe, told Destiny at this point that it is Elon Musk, but he's acting like it isn't, so that way potentially Destiny can't use all his tweets against him. In my opinion, that's why he's doing it. But the argument itself is, should the left continue to amp up rhetoric to match the right, and is that a good thing or a bad thing? Destiny is arguing that the left gets bullied, gets fucked with by the right too much, and allows the right to do things that the left would never do. And then when the left does something that's even a little bit close to what they do, they come out and apologize and commit hara-kiri in front of everybody to show that they have shamed their political party and that they're super sorry for it. This is the reason that there's so much rhetoric around Joe Biden and his age and the Israel-Hamas conflict and whether or not Democrats are willing to back him up, where there is zero of that criticism on the other side about Trump. So even though you may dislike Destiny, I'm going to ask you now to set aside that bias and listen to his side of this argument, and you tell me whether or not you agree or disagree with him on this topic.
Conservatives have had a vested effort in driving up the temperature of political discourse in the United States for the past 8 years.
I don't really see much of that. Which conservatives are you speaking of? Can you give me examples?
Yeah, I would refer to Donald Trump.
Okay, that's in your mind a conservative.
Considering he is the
Anyone else?
leader of the Republican Party, I don't need to cite anyone else.
Listen, I'm so glad you got that all right.
That was the goal.
All right, everybody calm down.
I'm saying that that's what you want. You want an emperor, and you just spelled it out perfectly. Donald Trump isn't corrupt. Why did he pardon every single person that was convicted of a crime that he worked with? Why did he pardon Manafort? Just admit it. Just say it. I don't know why you guys would just be honest. Just say, I want a king. He's above the law, and his friends are above the law. Well, so you have taken it upon yourself to rise up and fight the insurrection charge.
What? No, actually, I want to discuss the how do I...
My favorite part is that he says he's not Elon Musk, but there's like literally one fucking human being alive that talks like Elon Musk.
explain this? Actually kind of a lack of decorum on how you communicate on X. Like, why are you so violent? Let's just be right out the gate. Why so violent?
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, we can build towards that. The first question I would have is, do you agree that Donald Trump tried to lead an insurrection against the government, to overthrow the government, to prevent the peaceful transfer of power?
I don't know what he did. I don't know what people are writing. That's the thing. I would just basically say whatever's being written out there, if it be true or not, this is not my case to make, and this is also not what I'm here to discuss.
Oh, well, I mean, if you don't have a position on that, I think it's...
And this is really important because this is what people on the right do. They make a claim that people on the left are doing something. When somebody on the left goes, okay, well, the reason that I am doing this is because you're doing it as well. So I choose to match your energy with the same energy. So if you're going to come at me and you're going to talk shit, then I'm going to talk shit. This is something that people that follow my channel will recognize from my rhetoric. And that is, if you come in here and you ask me legitimate questions and you want to talk about things in a non-spicy manner, then we can do that. But if you come in here and and you start tossing around insults and acting like an asshole, then I match your energy. I will say to you, if you say I'm an idiot, I'm going to go, no, you're a fucking idiot. If you say you don't have any reasons to vote for Joe Biden, I'm going to say I have all the reasons to vote for Joe Biden. You have no reasons for Donald Trump, and you're full of fucking shit. Okay? But if you want to come in here and say, hey, there's problems on the border and I think this is something we should discuss, we can have that conversation. So what he's doing when he says this, when he says to him, do you think that Donald Trump incited an insurrection with his rhetoric? He is attempting to establish a bridge that says if you can admit Donald Trump's rhetoric led to the potential violence on January 6th, then we both can agree at this point in the conversation that these types of things, this type of rhetoric, could lead to escalations that are bad for the country. But if you can't at the very least agree that the thing that you're claiming the left was doing can also be applied to what Donald Trump is doing, then there is no conversation to have. And this is the problem right now when right-wing people come into the conversation and say, I believe this about the left, and you go, well, that's really funny because if I look at your side of the conversation, that's exactly what you're doing as well. And they go, no, that's not happening. That's a fucking problem.
It's kind of important. I think it kind of sets the tone for what the conversation is.
So I have zero position on that. Yeah, I have absolutely zero position.
Then then how can you have a position on any rhetoric or anything that would flow from that event?
Because, I mean, on both sides, you see a lot of claims be made, but what exactly can you take and say, hey, this is absolutely true, you know?
And so this is the argument, this is a what I call a doomer argument. And that is, so take, for instance, if you take the Durham report and you take the Mueller report. So in the Mueller report, he clearly, what does he have? 34 indictments. He has 7 guilty and 1 conviction from Roger Stone. You have multiple people that are pardoned. You have tons of evidence about interference through Russians. You have communications between Trump's staff and Russian interference. And then in the Durham report, what you have is him saying there was no collusion proven. He doesn't talk about the interference. He says there's no collusion proven, and therefore this should have never happened in the first place. Therefore, anything that was proven in the Mueller report should just be tossed out. Even though all of that evidence exists, he thinks all of that shit should just be thrown out because in his opinion, the investigation should have never been started. So when you have this discussion with doomers, they're going to say, well, hold on. You have one side that says that nothing happened, and you have the other side that says that all this stuff that happens. So that means that really what we should go with is nothing happened. But that's not how things work. It goes with the preponderance of evidence. You take the preponderance of evidence and you place it on one side or the other, dependent on how much evidence there. And in this case, the Mueller report definitively proves that there was interference. In fact, in the Durham report, he tried to convict 2 people. Neither one of those people were convicted. They're both acquitted. The third person that was convicted wasn't convicted because of the Durham report. He was convicted from a 2019 investigation done by a completely different person. So the evidence lies on the side of Russian interference is real, and the possibility of collusion was there, though not proven.
So you think there's no way to determine the truth of any particular event? How do you decide what to believe or what not to believe?
This kind of event is really difficult, and I'm not really someone who is an expert or anywhere close to an expert of politics specifically. That's also not what I'm here to discuss either.
Are you, if you mind me asking, can you vote in U.S. elections, or?
I wouldn't. I don't.
And once again, that's the doomer thing to do. When somebody goes, well, okay, who are you going to vote for? Oh, I'm not going to vote for anybody. Bullshit. If you are this engaged in politics, if you are talking about the border every fucking day like Elon Musk is on fucking Twitter, you're going to convince me that you're not going to vote for somebody? You're going to tell me that, oh, dude, I'm just going to sit this one out, even though I 1,000% believe that these things are wrong. Bullshit. You're going to tell me that Elon Musk, a dude who is funding Donald Trump's fucking campaign now, is not going to vote for Donald. He's just going to give him money. That's all. He's just giving him money.
I have actually zero opinion whatsoever. I like to be as neutral as possible. It's kind of a weird thing. I can afford...
Tia, I've watched the first 15 minutes of this video, and there's a really annoying part that's about to come up, about the 15-minute part, where he brings that up. He brings up the Republicans shooting down the border bill, and then his computer fucks up because of that massive outage yesterday. oh my God, dude. His computer fucks up right as he brings that up, and then they get off the point. And I was like, God damn it, he had him. We'll get to it in a second.
Want to be completely neutral? Other people really, I mean, it depends. You know, some people like to have an opinion on these things. I do not. I like to be completely
he should have
impartial.
followed that up. I agree, changed with why wouldn't you vote?
Okay. Well, if you don't have like a position on any of these things, I don't know what the point is of. I don't know what we can even talk about. If you can't ascertain like whether or not a particular thing is even likely to be true or not, like what?
No, but what I wanted to talk about is why are you so violent? That is a question. Because, you know, you can interact with people, say, on X or elsewhere in very many different ways. But why in such an adversarial, very somewhat, I think, violent manner? Why?
I'm only matching tone from the other.
Okay, and so by the way, for a little background on this, the reason that Destiny got banned from Kick and he got censored on X and demonetized on X was because the firefighter that died at the rally in Pennsylvania, when people asked him whether or not he felt bad about that happening, he said no. He said, I have a tweet right here from him where when talking about the children in Gaza dying, he tweeted, this is the guy who just died, the fire guy. And, you know, I don't share the same stance as Destiny on this. Regardless of what the guy said, I feel bad for the guy's family. I feel bad that innocent people died. But his stance was, this guy tweeted about the children dying in Gaza. And this is something you can go look up. The firefighter that died at the Trump rally. He said about those children, they'll get over it just like Japan did. So this is the problem. This is the problem. If you have a bunch of people that support a person that has this insane rhetoric about fight, fight, fight. January 6th, those people weren't treasonous, they were patriots. And then you have people that follow him, that say things like the people in Gaza will get over it just like the Japanese did. You have an issue within your party that your rhetoric is driving hate and violence. And this is why when people say that guy tried to shoot Trump and it's not the left's fault, that they have a fucking solid foundation to stand on. That is right-wing rhetoric that is driving hate and violence. Because when the very guy that you're trying to get everybody to feel bad about has tweeted that children in Gaza dying, that they can just get over it, and then brings up the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima as an example of why they should get over it, you start to see his point of view. Why should I care that guy, that this happened to that guy? Now, like I said, I don't share that stance. Regardless of what the guy said, I still have empathy for that man's family. I still feel bad that guy's family lost their father. But he has a point.
Other side.
Matching tone. Who has personally told you if
I mean, we can first of all, wait, I don't even think I called anybody that. Number one, so I don't even know where that comes from. Number two, like everybody. What do you mean? You can check my DMs. You can check posts here on Twitter.
Because, you can interact with people, say, on X or elsewhere in very many different ways. But why in such an adversarial, very somewhat, I think, violent manner? Why?
I'm only matching tone from the other side.
Matching tone? Who has personally called you
I mean, we can.
Yeah. So that's the worst argument Elon could possibly have. One of the reasons that Destiny said some pretty bad shit in his past. Some things that I 100% stand against. 100% stand against. But he has existed inside of this element, much like what I've created here with myself, where he has people that he allows to come into his chat to push back against him, to have adversarial opinions with what he believes, and that has created him getting doxxed, him having visits from the FBI because people have called him a pedo and reported him to the FBI. He has literally had so many visits from the FBI because of people in his chat that now at this point, they just know who he is and they just fucking show up and go, what's up? Yeah, we know everything's cool. Okay, anyways, and they take off. Obviously, that is a made-up scenario. But that's pretty much paraphrasing the scenario. So this is the worst argument Elon can bring up. How many people have said, like he has people all day long in his chat, on his Twitter, everywhere, constantly doxing him, giving him death threats, telling him he's a piece of shit. He's bisexual, so people are constantly calling him the F word. People are telling him that he's in an open relationship. They constantly talk about his wife or his ex-wife. Like, this is the worst argument that you could possibly make in this scenario.
We can check. First of all, wait, I don't even think I called anybody that. Number one, so I don't even know where that comes from. Number two, like everybody. What do you mean? You can check my DMs. You can check posts here on Twitter where people are posting tons of information, attempting to dox me, none of which has been taken down despite being reported. I mean, there's a billion different things you can go through. That's like the weirdest of all the claims to me.
And the reason this is relevant is because this is the straight up, we don't see anything wrong on the right. Like, I'm here on the left, and I'm calling out Destiny for things he did probably 10 or 15 years ago, right? Like, that's literally what I'm doing during this stream, is I'm calling him out on that. But on the right, what you have is none of that exists. People don't say those things. No one's called you the F word. That's just crazy. And that's why this is pertinent to the conversation. Excuse me.
You don't think that people have, like, an unhinged treatment towards me on the internet?
Can you repeat that again? Because you talk so fast that I cannot discern the individual words.
Sorry. You asked, your question seemed to imply, or you seem to be quite incredulous that I might receive a whole bunch of unhinged comments on the internet. I can point to any number of platforms where people make a plethora of unhinged comments about me. So for instance, like the fact that my people are trying to dox me, or people around me, or people that they think are me all over Twitter. Like, it's being reported, it's not being taken down. People post crazy stuff in my DMs, on Instagram, on other YouTube channels. Like I don't know, of all the claims to make, that seems to be the easiest one for me to, show evidence of, that people make unhinged comments about me.
I know all about BlackRock, Selena.
Yeah, but don't you think that you being so adversarial is the reason why that is the case?
No, I think the reason why is because I think conservatives have had a vested effort in driving up the temperature of political discourse in the United States for the past 8 years.
And I'm going to disagree with him on the last 8 years. I know enough about political history from my youth and growing up and knowing Republicans and conservatives that there has always been rhetoric on the right. That they are bigger, they're stronger, they own the guns, you don't, you won't say shit to me, you're a sissy, you're a hippie, you're a pacifist. This has always been the rhetoric of the right. I don't agree with him that it was just the last 8 years. Maybe it's been amplified over the last 8 years because of Donald Trump, but for the most part, this is not anything new. The right has always looked down on the left and has always tried to impose we're more masculine, we have more guns, you guys are a bunch of bitches, you guys are cucks. All of that shit is nothing new. And that's why I exist in this space, because I'm the dude that won't take that shit. That's why I'm applauding Destiny, despite our differences, for what he's doing here, because more people on the left need to stand the fuck up and go, you know what, fuck you. The left has guns too. The left has fucking masculine dudes too. The left has plenty of motherfuckers that, if you really want to fucking go there, can stand the fuck up and defend themselves. And we haven't done that because we've taken the Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. We've always taken the be the adult in the room. We've always taken the be the better person. And I'm not saying that any of those things aren't noble or good. They are. It's good to be the party of hope. It's good to be the party of the positive. It's good to be the party that wants to find solutions and not end up, in these rhetorical arguments that are super heated. But what I'm afraid of is that the left is going to be so passive, so worried about looking bad, so worried about becoming the right, that they will exit the conversation and leave control of the room to the right, and specifically MAGA. I'm not talking about traditional conservatives. I'm not talking about people that just want religious freedom. I'm not talking about people that want to be pro-life but don't care that you're pro-choice. I'm talking specifically about people in MAGA Republican circles that think they can bully their way into a situation and tell you what you're going to do with your life, or what right she's going to have in the future. I am always going to stand up for that. And just like what I said last night, my line has been drawn in the sand. If you step the fuck over that line, you will get the worst me you can possibly ever see. If you ever attempt to take my wife's rights, my daughter's rights, my friend's rights, you will have the worst fucking possible time ever.
I don't really see much of that. Which conservatives are you speaking of? Can you give me examples?
Yeah, I would refer to Donald Trump, who one of the most popular aspects of him as a speaker is the fact that he gives mean nicknames to his political opponents.
I'm going to say Project 2025 is bad.
Okay, that's in your mind a conservative, right? Like the absolute conservative.
Considering he is the leader of the Republic.
So he's denying that Trump is a conservative at this point, which I agree that he's not a conservative. He's a rhino. He's a Republican in name only. But he is the representative of the Republican Party.
Republican Party, I don't need to cite anyone else. I'm going to cite the leader of the Republican Party for the past 8 years that has the allegiance of every single lawmaker and basically the majority.
But conservatives implies a multiple, a very large multiple, as a matter of fact, given that's such a generalized term. So what are the multiples? What other examples are there? Except for, of course, say Donald Trump, who you are now imagining as a figure.
If Donald Trump is the leader of the party and he has the support of the party, then I would say all of the people that support him are supporting the speech. Donald Trump's rhetoric is basically the largest reason why people support him. So it is an implicit or an explicit endorsement of the way that he communicates.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that every single conservative is in support of him, nor that every single conservative, by that measure, would be attacking you, or that they are somehow... I would even go against that, say that conservatives would actually bring down the temperature of politics because they would just want peace.
That's a fucking wild
Conservatives
statement.
don't want peace, or if they do, the definition of peace that we're using here is quite different. But when you say that they might not support that aspect of him, when you vote for a person, you vote for the package and all of the things that flow from that individual. We can try to guess why people support Donald Trump, but it's certainly not because he's a student of history. It's not because of his policy package. It's not because of prior political positions. It's because they like the way that he communicates. It's probably the most popular aspect of Donald Trump. So I reject the idea that, well, just because they support him doesn't mean they, enjoy the name calling or anything else like that. I think that
Yeah, and that's 100% what I said earlier. The MAGA right is a party of symbolism over substance. So they really don't give a shit what Donald Trump has as far as substance. They don't care if Donald Trump is going to actually do anything with policies or plans or any of those other things. They like Donald Trump because Donald Trump makes fun of people. They like Donald Trump because he says dumb shit and they find it funny. They like Donald Trump because has-beens like Hulk Hogan, Kid Rock, Dana White. Dude, they just had fucking, what's her name? Fucking Rose. God damn it. Kanye's ex-wife at the RNC. That's why these people like it, because it's a fucking circus. Because they don't have to think with their brains. They don't have to worry about whether or not Donald Trump's policies are good for America. They don't have to worry about whether or not Donald Trump's going to have a good economy. They don't care. They like WWE shit. They want to see fucking fireworks. They want to hear people getting insulted. They want a reality TV show packaged president. And that's what they got. And when you sit here and say things like, well, hold on, do you think that's why people are voting for Donald Trump? 100% yes, that's why they're voting for Donald Trump. You're giving these people too much credit. Elon is fucking insane.
For the package and all of the things that flow from that individual. We can try to guess why people support Donald Trump, but it's certainly not because he's a student of history. It's not because of his policy package. It's not because of prior political positions. It's because they like the way that he communicates. It's probably the most popular aspect of Donald Trump. So I reject 100%. The idea that, well, just because they support him doesn't mean they enjoy the name calling or anything else like that. I think that that's one of the main reasons why people support him.
Through car donations, Vehicles for Veterans offers an excellent alternative way for the American people.
So just for the rhetoric, essentially. But that would be very... I mean, I don't know about that. Do you think that someone like, say, Elon Musk, for instance, would be supporting this dude specifically for his rhetoric?
Dude, this is my favorite part, where Elon Musk refers to Elon Musk in the third person. This shit gets kind of weird. It gets a little surreal when Elon Musk starts referring to Elon Musk in the third person. His question was, do you think that Elon Musk would vote for Donald Trump? based off of the rhetoric. And no, you know why Elon Musk would vote for Donald Trump? Elon Musk would vote for Donald Trump because he's the second richest person in the fucking world. And Joe Biden is proposing to tax him into fucking oblivion. He wants to vote for Donald Trump because Donald Trump is willing to continue the tariffs on fucking the Chinese EV company that wants to put their fucking factory in Mexico and drive fucking cars across the border. Elon Musk is legitimately going to vote for Donald Trump because he is wealthy as fuck and Donald Trump loves wealthy people.
I think Elon Musk would support somebody like Donald Trump because Elon Musk doesn't have any knowledge or information about the political system of the United States. He's largely uneducated about political affairs, both domestic in the U.S. and internationally. And because Trump seems like an epic guy that owns the libs, and I think Elon Musk has been attacked a lot of the times unfairly from people on the left. So as a reaction to that.
So this is what I like about Destiny. What he just said. He said he feels like one of the reasons that Elon would vote for Donald Trump is because Elon Musk has been attacked by people on the left, sometimes unfairly. And here we go. I'm going to be a lefty. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do the thing I keep fucking complaining that we do, and I will criticize the left. There are times where the left is too goddamn critical of everybody, and they tend to have a bit of a purity testing issue. Elon Musk went on fucking Joe Rogan's podcast and talked about loving everybody and shit like that. And that should appeal to people on the left. That should appeal to the hippies. But then he made some mistakes and said some stupid shit. And instead of providing a path back to redemption, they kind of closed it off. And I don't know that it would have had any positive effect, to be honest with you. I think that Elon Musk would have eventually seen the light of the dollar sign and voted for Trump anyways. But he's right to include that at least a portion of the reason that Elon Musk would vote for Donald Trump is the same reason that I said Joe Rogan does what he does, that some of these other celebrity figures do what they do, is that they got triggered fucking hard because they got criticized in the media by people on the left, and then they've never fucking came back from it. They broke their brains, and now they're 100% against everything the left believes because somebody said they weren't funny, or somebody said they shouldn't say certain things about Jewish people because it could be considered racist or anti-Semitic. I think it's one of those things where it's like you have to be able to criticize people and people have to be able to take it, but at the same time you also have to know when to let up on the criticism and give people a path to redemption. So I actually agree also with what he said right there.
About that. Do you think that someone like, say, Elon Musk, for instance, would be supporting this dude specifically for his rhetoric?
I think Elon Musk would support somebody like Donald Trump because Elon Musk doesn't have any knowledge or information about the political system of the United States. He's largely uneducated about political affairs, both domestic in the U.S. and internationally. And because Trump seems like an epic guy that owns the libs, and I think Elon Musk has been attacked a lot of the times unfairly from people on the left. So as a reaction to that, he supports Donald Trump.
How would you know that he's unknowledgeable given the fact that he's basically, a government contractor in a sense? I don't think he gets more knowledgeable than that.
You can't. His point of view is that because he owns SpaceX, he believes that means that he knows the most about politics, because he has a contract with the government to build rockets. That means he's the most educated politically ever. That makes zero fucking sense. Having a contract with the government does not in some way make you insightful about the border. It does in no way make you insightful about women's rights to bodily autonomy. It in no way makes you insightful to the very foundations of the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. It means you build big, good rockets, which I agree with. Elon Musk builds good rockets. I wish him all the luck in getting to Mars, and I hope he takes fucking Roseanne Barr and fucking Kevin Sorbo and the rest of the fucking crazy people with him. Because it's two birds, one stone for me. I love space exploration. I love the idea of going to Mars, and we get to get rid of all the fucking crazy people. I'm 100% for it. But in no way does that mean that Elon Musk somehow is some fucking savant when it comes to politics all of a sudden. There are people who have legitimately been in politics for 30 years that still don't know shit about politics. So I completely disagree with his point of view on this part.
That owns the libs, and I think Elon Musk has been attacked a lot of the times unfairly from people on the left. So as a reaction to that, he supports Donald Trump.
Fucking November, yeah.
How would you know that he's unknowledgeable given the fact that he's basically, a government contractor in a sense. I
But
don't
it
think he
just
gets
tells
more
you how
knowledgeable
Elon
than that. You'd have to understand something about politics, and you have to understand something that is of worth to the government. By that extent, also understand the government in order to actually provide something of worth to it, right?
No. If you're a government contractor, all it means is that you offer some good or service that the government wants to buy. Doesn't necessarily mean you understand
Yes, but
anything
you'd have
about
to understand that government.
And just a heads up, if you guys ever end up in Destiny's, stay in Destiny's YouTube chat. Okay, don't go in his Discord chat. It's a very bad place. It's not a good place. This is one of my criticisms of Destiny is I've been in that Discord chat. I was in the Discord chat for about 3 seconds before I got referred to as a retard. Okay. Mind you, I posted the same link twice, but I didn't think it was that bad. All right, just stay out of the Discord chat. Stay in YouTube chat. That's where most of the good people are.
You just have to understand. You just have to understand how to produce a good or service that the government might want to consume. Just because you know how to build rockets and the government might want to have an interest in rockets doesn't mean you know anything about politics or domestic affairs.
Well, you'd have to in order to secure a deal, no?
At what stage in securing a deal with the government do you think
Also,
you have to know anything about politics?
Also, why was Obama there at the launch site? I think maybe there was something that's very political about that too. Obama was literally there.
I have zero interest in talking about Obama right now.
Yeah, but that is an example of something that's political and something where I'd say he was very knowledgeable.
And can you see, this is like, okay, so I've told you guys this before. I used to argue with my buddy that Elon was smart. I used to tell him all the time, yeah, he's fucking genius. He's super smart. I've seen him talk before. He's really, really intelligent. And my buddy used to tell me, Elon Musk is a fucking idiot. And I had to realize at one point what he meant about that. There are plenty of people out there that can hire good people to do their jobs. And this is what he claimed. He claimed that Elon Musk, hired the right engineers, got rich off of other people's ideas. And I even argued to the point that maybe not, But one of the things that I will 100% agree with him on is that just because you can build rockets or just because you can hire the right people does not mean that you are intelligent in certain manners, okay? So when he says something along the lines of Obama was at my rocket launch, therefore that equals I know about politics, this is what's wrong with society right now, is that there's a bunch of people right now that think that because, hey, like, he knows this dude, so 100%, that's like saying, like, I know Bruce Lee, so obviously I know a lot about martial arts. Or I knew Barry Bonds, so I know a lot about playing baseball. That fucking, I guarantee you, like, people like fucking, like, you think like Amon-Ra St. Brown's like girlfriend is like, I know everything about football because I'm dating a football player? No. She's got a closer relationship with him than Elon does with Barack. Like, just because Barack Obama showed up at your rocket launch doesn't mean that you know shit about politics. It means that you are influential. It means that you have billions of dollars. That's all that means.
Knowledgeable is something that's political because he had such a important political figure so close to what he was doing.
Having a political figure close to you doesn't mean that you have an understanding of politics. To recenter, you don't need an understanding of politics to sell services to the government. All you have to do is produce a particular good or service that the government wants to buy. Nothing more, nothing less.
Have you ever provided any goods to the government in that regard?
Sold goods or services.
Dude, I love that. I love that argument. Yeah, what have you done? That's a literal Trump supporter argument. And they're like, Donald Trump isn't a successful businessman. He's had 6 bankruptcies. What's the response, guys? What's the response when you say Donald Trump is a 6-time bankrupt businessman that got a huge inheritance from his father? What do they say to you? Oh yeah, what have you done? Like, it's the same argument.
Services to the government? No, I don't think so. I mean, I've been friends with people that are contractors for like city services and stuff, but to the federal government, I've known people that have worked for contractors like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, but I mean, I don't think that they cut the deals themselves.
Yeah, exactly, Liz.
Yeah, but it is to a certain extent a deeply political thing because you are directly affected by the whims of the government.
In that case, every single thing in life is deeply political. I mean...
Well, yeah, of course it is, and that's why we're having this conversation. And that's also why you're just kind of always going back to politics.
Okay. I mean, if you...
Yeah, but that's the fucking point, is he keeps trying to say that he doesn't want to make this political. And the reason he doesn't want to make this political is because he knows he'll get his ass handed to him by Destiny. So he keeps saying, I don't want to make this political. I want to make this about your rhetoric. But then he full on admits at this point that the reason that the topic keeps going back to it being politics is because everything they're talking about is political. Therefore, you don't get to dodge the question of politics because it is ingrained in your fucking theory that his rhetoric is bad for politics and humanity.
You want to say that, well, in that case, if you want to say that everything is political, then that's fine, but then the word becomes meaningless, and then I would just find another word to describe a lack of, sure. When it comes to understanding government policy, I don't think that you need to necessarily have an understanding of that to sell a good or service to the government. You might have to have or something that would help might be particular knowledge around future domestic or foreign plans about a good or service you provide. Maybe having some insight there might help, but that doesn't necessarily clue you into domestic politics or foreign affairs at large. It would just be to the particular thing that you sell to the government.
Perhaps. But then again, I don't think he's really...
Do you like that? You guys like that? That's that pause. It's the same pause you've seen in Good Liars videos. It's the same pause you saw in the Jordan Klepper video that I have a short of, where the kid shorts out when he asks him, "Isn't he surrendering?" on your T-shirt. It's a thing that happens with MAGA Republicans across the globe when they are hit with actual facts, actual truth, actual logic. It just shuts down. Everything shuts down. And then the only sign of any brain matter left in one of these people's heads is when they say, perhaps. That is the only indicator that there is any brain cells left in that person's brain, is when after the pause, they go, sure, I guess I can see what you're saying, but... So at least we can all maybe agree that there's maybe 2 or 3 brain cells left.
Supporting him for the rhetoric. It seems to be that I think it's by and large the policies that he wants to implement, which could be very beneficial to.
Yeah, I
his
know I'm
companies,
alive on shorts. It's for discoverability.
Right? Because if you look at for instance, one of those things would be tighter border control as opposed to what's existing currently.
One day we'll go back to horizontal, though.
Vernon Central High School, how may I help you?
I'm calling to help you, actually.
Really?
I don't think that Elon has
I don't think that
his company has a large investment in tighter border control. I'm not really sure.
Rick, it seems to be that I think it's by and large the policies that he wants to implement, which could be very beneficial to his companies, even perhaps, right? Because if you look at for instance, one of those things would be tighter border control as opposed to what's existing currently.
So before he gets into this, the tighter border control. So if you're on X at all and have Elon Musk followed, which I don't think you have a choice. I think you see all his shit anyways. He posts 3 to 5 to 50 times a day about the border. He posts misinformation. He posts statistics that have been cherry-picked. He doesn't talk about it in a manner which is really disappointing that you could actually have a conversation. It's like he's literally being fed the information from Trump or Trump supporters and then posting it directly to X without ever taking a look at it. Because he's literally said things like that immigrants that are here on parole can vote. And that is wrong. That is by itself incorrect. And you can have conversations about tons of things to do with the border, but those conversations are almost impossible if you won't at least admit that you haven't looked at that information in the first place. So when he says, like, well, maybe Elon Musk likes Donald Trump's border policies. Well, first, you have to understand what's wrong with the border. Second, you have Elon Musk saying things like the population in the West is declining. One of the best ways for the population in the West to face population decline is to encourage immigration from outside the country. No, that does not mean open the borders and let everybody come through. But that is not happening. Nobody right now is just coming across the border. We're just giving them balls of water and telling them to vote Biden. And that's what people believe. The border right now is an extremely complicated issue. There are needs for more justices to sit the bench to handle cases. There are a need for more Border Patrol agents and greater pay. There are needs for things like the machines that Joe Biden talked about to detect fentanyl. And I'll even throw this in there, the super dog that Donald Trump talked about. I don't give a fuck. Bring the super dog and the machines. Okay, but all of that could have been taken care of with Lankford's Republican border bill that they literally had them throw out the fucking window because they didn't want Joe Biden to get a win during the election year. If you want to talk about the fact that it's only being brought up during the election year, I'm with you. Let's talk about that. But if you're just going to bring up a bunch of stupid fucking statistics that are made up and are cherry-picked and are bullshit, you can't have a real conversation about this. And that's what Elon Musk does. And that's why I know that Elon Musk doesn't know jack shit about politics, is because the one thing that he's super fucking concerned about, he doesn't know anything about.
I don't think that Elon has I don't think that his company has a large investment in tighter border control. I'm not really sure how that would.
One day we'll go back to horizontal.
The country itself needs to exist and needs to be in a stable position if his mission is to be successful.
Yeah, Tia, there's so much
I
to talk
don't
about.
think that if he's looking for stability, then supporting Donald Trump would be literally the last thing that he would want to do. Number one, and then number two, if we were looking for stability at the border, I think Elon would have had something to say, and maybe he did. Maybe if I go through his Twitter, am I going to find references to him being upset that Donald Trump prevented the Congress from securing the border with Senator Lankford's border bill that would have tightened up a lot of the asylum-seeking stuff that was going on at the border, provided more funding to clear out some of the people that are waiting to hear their cases in the U.S.? Like, did Elon say anything about that when Donald Trump prevented that piece of legislation?
You'd have to look for that, but no.
Okay, the answer is no.
You guys like that? Once again, there it is. There's the pause because he knows he's wrong. Elon Musk just hid behind his fake account and said, you'd have to look for it. So Elon Musk doesn't know if Elon Musk was against them throwing that bill out the window? That seems sus. You just saw one of the most cowardly acts that a person could possibly do. He just hid behind his fake persona on Twitter and said, I don't know, you'd have to look for it. I don't know, I'm not Elon Musk. I have no idea what Elon Musk would tweet about that. That was coward shit. That was coward shit. And just like what Destiny just said, the answer is no. The answer is no.
Some of the people that are waiting to hear their cases in the U.S., like, did Elon say anything about that when Donald Trump prevented that piece of legislation?
You'd have to look for that, but no.
Okay, the answer is no.
The only grievances with border that he's had recently that he has voiced would be exactly what you'd find if you watched the live stream that he did when he was at the border, basically highlighting what the crisis is down there, which didn't exist before.
Once again, so this is doomer ideology. This is what the doomers say. Oh, well, you just gotta look around. And the funniest part of that ideology is if I look around, things are great. If I look around, everything's good. So you can't say Elon Musk went down to a portion of the border and live streamed him in a fucking publicity stunt, and you should take that as the gospel as to what is going on in the border. That's not a legitimate argument. That is, once again, as I said a million fucking times, the beginning of a place to start a hypothesis. I hypothesize that there is an issue at the border because with my own eyes, I went down to the border and saw that there was a problem. Therefore, it should be investigated. Now, is this a problem on a larger scale? Is it something that maybe we could look into statistics and studies on? Maybe we could look into what's going on with legislation. Well, we could look into the fact that Senator Lankford tried to pass this bill, but no one would let him. All of these things, once you've decided that you have a fucking idea, should be looked into. It should not just trust me, bro. And that's the doomer ideology. Just trust me, bro. It's fucking bullshit. Oh, who is the other person? His name is Destiny. Yeah. Yeah, Frosty, I fucking told you before, I don't believe on anybody's account that that's how things should be done. I don't care if it's AOC, I don't care if it's Biden, I don't care who it is. I'm trying to tell all you fucks you need to stop with the just look around bullshit. I don't care what side you're on. You guys keep fucking, yeah, but that's what the other side does. Yeah, I'm fucking against that too.
What does he think the crisis is?
That the border is not secure.
Okay, that's not the crisis. So if he thinks that, this is even a stronger point.
There's a crisis of people coming over it, and they're just, coming in and sway it, and that's causing a lot of problems, I'd imagine.
Okay, my bad.
Okay.
All right.
What just happened to you?
And this is so sad. This was so sad because he had him fucking pinned down on that bullshit. And then the whole fucking computers fucking up and blue screening thing happened. And he forgets where he's at. I wish I had a fucking direct line to dude's fucking house so I could be like, bro, you're on him about the border. Because that is the one thing that Elon Musk will not stop tweeting about. And I've said this before. All I want is Elon Musk to put the fucking phone down and go make rockets. I don't want to be a shut up and dribble guy. But LeBron James shooting a fucking basketball doesn't have any impact on society. Space exploration does. Like, all of these fucking politicians who are tweeting, I don't care what side they're on, all fucking day and night, and they're on Facebook and Twitter and everything else, put the fucking phone down. Get off Twitter. Get off Facebook. Go write legislation. Go feed poor people. Go take care of veterans. Stop fucking tweeting.
What happened there?
I updated 2 vital pieces of software this morning, my operating system and my OBS, and something is causing Windows to blue screen. I don't know why, so now I moved downstairs to my studio.
Why are Democrats trying to block a bill that would tighten up on illegal voting? Because, Frosty, it's redundant. And this is something that I had to learn about things on the left. People on the left trying to pass certain bills that were redundant. You should be against redundancy, because redundancy is a waste of taxpayers' money. Immigrants cannot vote. They cannot. You have to provide fucking ID to register to vote in every state. You have to have your signature checked when you vote. It's redundant, and multiple investigations have shown, both by Trump, by third parties that Trump hired, by other presidencies. You guys love to point out that Hillary Clinton denied the fucking election results. People know that Al Gore also fought the election results in Florida. Over and over, we have seen investigations done on all of this shit that shows that passing this type of legislation is redundant. Democrats are just as scared as anybody else about fraudulent elections. It's all smoke and mirrors, dog. The Republicans didn't pass that because it made a difference. They did it because they know it gets you hype. You're like, oh, fuck yeah, they're protecting our rights, dog. Oh, hell yeah. No, they're not. It's redundancy. It's smoke and mirrors. I'm all for people that are not here legally, and I'm not talking about immigrants. I'm not talking about paroled immigrants, because they don't get to vote either. But the specifically that you guys are talking about, illegals, people that have come across the border and not been caught, because that's the only person that's here not legally, those people can't vote. None of them can. And it's like fucking such a minuscule amount. It's making a mountain out of a molehill.
But my studio is not set up to do audio like this, so I had to reconfigure all my audio devices, and here we are. But I believe everything should be working.
BF, Republicans aren't keeping their own presidential candidate safe, dog.
Wild. This computer won't blue screen. Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right. Where were we?
Yes, it does. Frosty, every one of those things has been investigated.
Again, I kind of want to keep away from the politics as much as possible. I don't want to do anything with that. Specifically, what I want to talk about, again, because I'm harkening back to that, is the nature of the way that you speak, right? That's it.
And Trump
right?
still went out there because he's a moron.
So your explanation for why you speak in...
No, it's not. 30 million people is 10% of the American population. So let's take 2 ideas that you believe, Frosty. You believe that there's 30 million immigrants that have come across the border. You also believe that the majority of those immigrants that are coming across the border are bad hombres. They're horrible. Yet, all you guys can produce is like once every 3 months, an immigrant doing something bad. Once every 2 weeks, an immigrant doing something bad. If immigrants that were coming across our border were all horrible people that did all these bad things, and they made up 10% of our population, not just total, but 10% just in the last 3 years, you would see all day, every day, news articles from Fox News saying, look at what all these illegal people are doing. Look at it. It's fucking insane, isn't it? It's crazy. Why would there be a population decline in America if 30 million immigrants were coming across the border? Why would that be true? None of that makes sense. Not a damn thing. None of it.
And say violent manner. I think we can describe this as a violent thing. You say you're doing this because you don't think you have much of an impact, and the other side is doing this as well.
I'm going to let you argue with
to be clear, I never said I don't have much of an impact. I said that I don't think we can have much of an impact on lowering the temperature. I think that for the temperature to come down, both sides have to be invested in lowering the temperature, and conservatives have shown for the past 8 years that they have absolutely no desire to lower the temperature. That's what I...
And this is the most important part. What he just said right there. That to lower the temperature in the room, both sides must agree to do so. Now, conservatives, like Mike Johnson, have agreed to that. They are doing the things like coming out and saying when their president is shot at, this isn't where anybody should be. This is where we should all disagree, or all agree that violence is not the answer to this type of thing. Everybody needs to chill the fuck out. But the people that are not agreeing are MAGA Republicans. And MAGA Republicans are specifically MAGA Republicans because they love their bully president. They love that he insults people. They love that he talks shit. He doesn't have policies. He doesn't speak to legislation. He gave an hour-and-a-half talk at the RNC in which he did not list one thing that he was going to actually do. He alluded to stopping the border problem, but what did he do? He led with fear. He led with fear. All of these people, they're taking black jobs. They're taking Mexican jobs. Everybody in the MAGA Republican portion of that party is not interested in bringing down the temperature because the only way that they exist in this reality with any sort of relevance at all is to continue to push hateful rhetoric. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene, right after Donald Trump was shot at, got on Twitter and started stoking hatred. It's why Laura Loomer just posted that when a Democratic congresswoman died, that she was a ghetto-ass bitch with a low IQ. Because MAGA Republicans are the problem. And the left needs to grow a pair of fucking balls and stand the fuck up and say to all the MAGA Republicans, I see you, dog, and I'm matching that energy. Because the temperature of the room ain't gonna come down because the left goes, all right, hey, let's be the bigger person. Let's not get there with these guys. Let's show them how to be adults. Let's be the positive influence on the party. That's not how it works. That's not how you deal with bullies. You don't deal with bullies by going, okay, you want the lunch money? Here's the lunch money. He'll just realize at one point or another that it's not good for society that he's being a bully right now. No. You fucking expose his ass. And you make him look bad. Because I've been dealing with bullies my whole fucking life. And for the latter half of my fucking life, I've been putting bullies in their fucking place. That's what I've been saying since I got on this channel. So any of you guys come in here from the fucking right and you're surprised to hear me say this shit, I don't know what the fuck show you've been watching. I've been saying this for long before fucking Destiny was saying it. I've been saying this for longer than anybody on this fucking internet has been saying it. I punch bullies in the mouth. I don't fucking stand around and let them shit on my wife, shit on my children's rights, take freedoms from me and my friends. Fuck you. Fuck your feelings. Fuck you. This shit, fuck them.
What I said. Or Matt, at least.
Which conservatives specifically?
Donald Trump, the leader of the Republican Party.
And so that guy and whoever you think supports him are like all in the same bucket, want to drive the temperature up. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, but then don't you think that engaging?
Rusty, you
So,
gotta fight
of
with
course,
everybody
you
in
want
chat.
to,
I can't fight with you right
like,
now.
say, being
I gotta watch the video.
or having good decorum on a platform actually has a positive effect. But
What
do
up,
you think
Jess?
that there's so much of a negative effect because at the moment that you yourself could not possibly make it any worse? Is that correct? Because that's kind of what that logic sounds like.
A little bit. I think you can probably always make.
He's going to talk about what you guys are talking about right now. And I'm not going to deny that there are things on the left that they should calm the fuck down too. But the problem with it is they can't calm the fuck down because the MAGA Republicans do not allow space for you to. There's no olive branch from the MAGA Republicans. Nobody on the far right now is going, hey guys, our president almost just got shot. Maybe we should tone down the rhetoric. No, instead, they went to fucking Twitter and hyped up the rhetoric to 1,000 fucking degrees. So don't come on here and act like I'm going to give you some kind of fucking sympathy for your dude fucking causing an issue that legitimately almost got him fucking shot and did get fucking people at his rally shot. That's your fault. You fucks are the reason that happened. The reason that people call Donald Trump Hitler on the left is because he has been ramping up rhetoric for the last fucking 8 years. He fucking said that Obama wasn't an American citizen before he was ever the fucking president of the United States. To this day, he says, I don't know, maybe the birth certificate isn't real. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Some people believe that. Shut the fuck up. You don't
make
have
things
to
a little
watch
worse.
this.
I just don't think
You
you
can
can
go
make
do
things
some
that
other
much
shit.
better. When
I'm
you
done
say
with y'all.
good decorum, one of the
Done with
issues we
that
run
shit.
into, I think I was talking about this before my fourth
I'm
or
not
fifth
taking
computer
that middle
crash.
ground bullshit.
The issue that I have with good decorum or good conversation is right now it seems like the marker for a centrist or for a neutral observer to say that a good conversation has happened here is just for nobody to shout at each other. But I think the
Here
issue
you
that
go.
I'm running
Listen
into
to this
is
shit.
there are two things to look at when somebody speaks. There's the manner in which they speak, and there's the content that they speak. And I feel like we have completely
Olive Branch,
disregarded all content, and we're just looking for people to speak calmly at each other, even if they're saying horrifying things. I think that conservatives have been in the business of saying horrifying things for the past 8 years, oftentimes with inflammatory rhetoric, but not always. But when they don't speak with inflammatory rhetoric and their tone is nice, they're still saying horrifying things. So I don't appreciate it when conservatives are saying, well, we need to bring down the rhetoric. I don't like that joke that you made, when they have been in the business of amplifying and causing the temperature of the conversations to increase so much over the past 8 years.
Specifically, you mean?
And that right there is the point. Because everybody wants to say, oh, what's your tone? So this is something I've dealt with my whole fucking life. When I was really young, my temper was really bad. And when somebody talked shit to me, they got punched. Because I always felt like, well, if you want to go there, I'll punch you. I don't have a fucking problem with that. I'm from the fucking ghetto. I grew up in a trailer park. That's how we handle shit. And everybody around me would go, holy shit. Now, the person that talked shit to me wasn't the asshole. The guy who got me to the point where I wanted to punch him in the face, he's not the asshole. I'm the asshole. Well, why am I the asshole? Well, because you punched him. Well, why is it okay for him to get me to the point where I want to hit him, but it's not okay for me to retaliate against him? Well, because he was doing it verbally. Physical violence is never the way. And so I set a boundary for myself. And I said, okay, from now on, to deal with this problem, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. And that line is you're never allowed to put your hands on me. And I used to warn people. Somebody be talking shit and they get close up to me and I go, don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. And the moment that even if they fucking touched me on the shoulder, I punch them in the face. Because at that point, if you're willing for me to give you a line that is so far in the other direction that all you have to do is not touch me, and you can't even observe that line, you deserve to get punched. And that's where we're at. Because really what he's doing right now is he's saying, if you've watched Destiny at all, he's gone on a bunch of Republican shows. He's had conversations with them. He's had good faith conversations in which he has looked incredibly bad because it looks like he is cucking to them. Because the Hodge twins can sit there and talk shit about his wife leaving him, about how he's bisexual, and call him the F word. All of those things they're allowed to do to him But if he says something mean about them, because Destiny's not a physically violent person, but if Destiny's the person that he says something mean about any of these people, well, he's the bad guy. Oh, he should be chastised. He should be criticized. He should have to go out in front of everybody and show his shame. But what about these other guys? Well, we all know they're bad people. Fuck that. You touch me, you get hit. I draw my line in the sand, and if you can't observe those boundaries, you get hit. That's the way it fucking is. And right now, I'm drawing my line. Right now, Frosty, I don't give a fuck which one of you guys, fuck Joe Biden, any of you dudes. I'm drawing my line. If you are going to come on my channel and you are going to say shit that would take rights away from my wife, rights away from my daughter, rights away from my friend, I'm going to shit on you. And I'm not going to feel bad about it. Because at that point, I know who you are as a person. At that point, if I know that you would take rights away from the people that I love, that you're not a person I like. We're not friends. We're not even acquaintances at that point. If you would take rights from my wife or my kids, you're a piece of shit human being, and I'm going to let you know it.
Anyone who supports Trump, because there are different conservatives across the board.
It's always the second person who gets flagged.
Right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. As a shorthand, when I say conservative right now in this context, I just...
Was it gross what he said about the kids in Palestine, Frosty? Was it gross what that firefighter said about the kids in Palestine?
mean conservative, Republican, or Trump supporter. Understanding there are some conservatives that don't support Trump, although the vast majority do, but not all. There are never Trumpers. There are conservatives that don't support Donald Trump. That is the case. But the majority of the party, you would agree right now, is absolutely lockstep behind Donald Trump.
I'm an angry fucking
right?
ginger.
I think so, perhaps.
When you say I think so and perhaps, how could it be any other way when every single lawmaker is lockstep behind Trump, when people that don't like Trump get excised from the political party, and when he enjoys broader support than almost any politician has historically in the Republican Party? What do you mean you think so? It's absolutely the case.
And has J.D. Vance been excised? He has a very interesting opinion.
J.D. Vance literally had a meeting with Donald Trump when he chose to be the vice president, where he apologized profusely to Donald Trump about the things that he said about him. Because that's what the political right looks like right now, is a bunch of people that aren't MAGA Republicans, that still want to exist in their own party, that still want fame and status and success, that know that the only avenue for them to acquire that is through Donald Trump. J.D. Vance said a bunch of shit about Donald Trump and then went into Donald Trump's office, got on his knees and said, "I'm so sorry, sir. All I want is for you to make me somebody. Please, please." And that's what happened. He kissed the ring. Exactly.
Of Trump?
Because he fell in line.
Are you sure?
Considering that he just got chosen as the vice presidential pick and considering J.D. Vance is on record saying that he would have helped Donald Trump coup the government in 2020, yes, I am sure.
Did he say those words specifically, or did he say something that, like, what?
He said that he would have, where Pence failed, he said that he would have succeeded in listening to Donald Trump and rejecting the electorate vote in favor of the one that would make Trump the president, because he felt like that was an appropriate political process if they didn't feel like the results were legitimate.
Okay, yeah. But that doesn't seem like advocating for a coup.
That is a coup.
That's an if then else.
That is a coup.
Yeah, like if you do this, then you have couped the government. Correct.
Long pause. Once again, how many times is that? Is that 3 times now that he said something stupid and Destiny checked him on that shit? Long pause? Perhaps. Long pause? Okay, but. This is the same shit across the entire MAGA world. They all act the exact
That's an
same.
if then else.
Yeah, like if you do this, then you have couped the government. Correct.
Okay, cool.
Well, I don't think it's cool.
Again, it's funny.
This is what I don't like the nice...
You like that? Okay, cool. Haha, laugh it off because I'm wrong. I got fucking owned. That's what y'all do.
Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go do your thing. Sorry.
It's like we talk about a specific thing that has rules of engagement, and then we immediately go back to politics.
I'm not going to argue
kind of
with you about that.
I don't blame you for this.
Frosty,
I understand that, but I don't want to talk about
wrong,
politics. I want to talk about rules of
dumb
engagement.
shit.
Again, specifically, I see there is reasoning. that you want to be violent, but why not choose to
I've
be
explained it to you
an
multiple
example
times.
and
Not
not
gonna
be
explain it
violent,
to you
right?
again.
Because of course, you'd say here, you're having a conversation on X, for instance,
Argue
and
with
you're
the
talking
chat.
to a guy who's effectively dead. You're like basically playing with this guy's dead body, because that's what you're doing, right? You're just like quote posting his thing, and you're saying terrible things about him. Now, I'm not defending this guy, what he does or where he was at. I'm just saying that you just have some respect for the dead, right? And you don't have any respect for the dead in this regard, because
Okay. Let's have some respect for the dead. Let's have respect for the dead. First of all, that's a weird fucking idea in the first place. It should be let's have respect for his family. If you want to be honest, can we stop saying stupid shit like respect for the dead? The dude's dead. He's dead. He's not affected by fucking anything. If you want to say have respect for his family, this is once again where I said at the very beginning of this is where me and Destiny will part. I'm not a person that feels like my dislike of what that man tweeted should affect his family. But once again, you fucking morons can't fucking argue anything correctly. It's not respect for the dead. Respect for the dead is fucking stupid. It's respect for the living, the people that are affected by the comments about her father. Their father would be what you'd want to talk about. But you guys can't make a fucking serious argument to save your goddamn life. I have to argue these things for you for them to make fucking sense. You don't even know why you're arguing these things.
you're basically interacting with what is essentially a dead person, right? This is really, really, really weird. Whatever you want to do with that, that's up to you. But that's what that is,
I mean,
right?
who better
Don't
to
you
make
think that
fun
the
of than
content
somebody
of
who-
what you could say about this guy, like, dude, if you have bad content with and what you have to say about this guy, doesn't that kind of go against what it is that you want? I mean, what exactly do you want? Do you want to actually have a discussion in which good content is within that discussion, even though it be peaceful, or are you just going to basically use harmful content and still have that discussion?
And this is the bullshit that they're trying to play right now. This is the bullshit. So on their own shows, like the fucking Hodge twins, they can sit there and talk massive amounts of shit. They can talk all this shit about Nancy Pelosi's husband being gay and how it was funny that he got hit with the hammer, or he's gonna be that guy tried to murder him. Wasn't that funny? Oh, ha, ha, that was hilarious, wasn't it, guys? And then when they talk to you, you're supposed to just forget that all those things got said. You're supposed to enter the conversation and go, hey, let's have a good conversation. Now, when they bring up those things during the conversation, you're also supposed to take it in good faith. They're just having a good time, guys. They're just jokes. You're too sensitive. You're emotional. Fuck that shit. I'm done being nice. I'm done with that shit. You can either respect me and talk to me in a way that shows that you respect me, or I will shit on you. That's the way this channel has been since the beginning. Shouldn't be a fucking surprise.
If you have bad content with and what you have to say about this guy, doesn't that kind of go against what it is that you want? I mean, what exactly do you want? Do you want to actually have a discussion in which good content is within that discussion, even though it be peaceful, or are you just going to basically use harmful content and still have the discussion?
So this is my view. Inflammatory rhetoric accomplishes some good things and some bad things, and calm rhetoric accomplishes some good things and some bad things.
True.
Right? So the reason why people are inflammatory is because it riles up your side. It makes people more emotionally invested. It produces a stronger feeling about a given thing. But typically we don't like inflammatory rhetoric because it usually involves dehumanizing, demonizing, attacking some particular person. It increases the likelihood for everybody to engage in inflammatory acts, and inflammatory acts can put you on an escalatory pathway towards bad actions, right? Which is even more scary. But the issue is as Democrats have been as milquetoast and calm, relatively speaking, when you look at Biden as possible, none of the positives that are supposed to come from calm rhetoric have been realized, and instead it's only been the negatives. Biden has spoken over and over again about how he's not just a president for the U.S., or he's not just a president for one party, he's a president for the entire United States. He's brought together people to support bipartisan legislation, and at almost every opportunity, like that famous speech where he's in front of that red background, he said, listen, not all Republicans are MAGA Republicans. This isn't the entire Republican Party. Despite all of these qualifiers, despite his bipartisan support, at least in Congress, and despite him trying to be a president for all Americans, everybody on the conservative side still gives him all the negatives of the inflammatory rhetoric. So if you don't have anything to gain by engaging in a particular style of discourse, and instead you're just accruing negatives, and if you believe that the other side that is engaging in inflammatory rhetoric is allowed to recoup all the positives of that inflammatory rhetoric, why would you continue to engage in a way that's only hurting your cause, that you're not gaining any benefit from, socially or otherwise?
Yeah, and so let's address some of the things that he said there. First of all, I want to point out that he's doing the very thing that he said. He's saying that you can engage in both ways. So he's having a conversation right now where he's not yelling at Elon Musk, where Elon Musk is, for the most part, being good faith about like the conversation, even if I think some of the tactics are a little bit bad faith. So you can have a conversation with people where this conversation is like this. But you can't have that same conversation with somebody that is making exaggerated conspiracy theory-driven claims that they can't prove, that is specifically rhetoric to increase the temperature of the room. You can only have conversations like this when you have people that are sitting across from you that legitimately want to make America a better place and not just win. Because where we're at right now, and the reason you guys are so fucking mad about this right now, is that you want to win. You are mad that people on the left are choosing to take your tactics, which have been successful, for your side, and they are now using them. That's what's making you mad. Because now all of a sudden, oh shit, you might lose. Because if the left gets a backbone, you guys might not win this shit. You're not scared that America is failing. You're not as scared that everything's going to go bad if the left continues to up the temperature. You're scared that you won't win because you don't care about America. You care about winning. You think that your idea of America is the best idea for America, and that's okay. That's fine. But you don't get to use a tactic and then not expect the other side to do so. So that's what's happening right here, is you have two people that are talking about something, and he's doing a good job. But you can't sit here and go, well, we're the only side that gets to use this hateful, angry rhetoric. No, the other side's going to do it too. You want shit to calm down, you stop yelling. You want shit to calm down, you look at the fucking guy that keeps insulting his political adversaries, and you tell him, stop insulting him. You want shit to calm down? You tell people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer, stop producing rhetoric. Stop going out there and telling people that they should hate the other side. And then we can talk about whether or not the left thinks that Donald Trump is Hitler. Because if you're out there and you're acting like a fucking madman and you're getting people so worked up that somebody in your own political party takes a fucking shot at you, we start with the source of the problem. That's the source of the problem. And if you want to have good conversations, don't come at me with bullshit. Don't come at me and fucking sugarcoat taking bodily autonomy away from women. Talking about women not voting. Talking about LGBT people not having the same rights as everybody else. You can't sugarcoat that and be like, bro, those are just my opinions. Ha! Why are you getting so angry? It's not like the things I'm saying actually affect other human beings. They do. You're trying to take rights away from people, and when somebody gets mad at you for trying to take rights away from people, that's okay. That from their side, that's a legitimate reaction to what you're doing. If you're in a relationship, I said this the other day, or I said it earlier today, everybody gets